is quite a view that.
I think we're. Oh, yep,
She's
nope.
skipping every.
Did exactly what you said it was going to do. Yep, there we go.
1 minute.
I think we're here.
They're giving.
These dogs are ridiculous. I purposely let them. I'm going to give them time to show up. Double thumbs up. Remember, I can't see anything. Where'd my glasses go?
I don't know.
Oh, Quinn, you just gave away that you're here. They now know you're here, Quinn. Backstage, Quinn is here.
Hi.
Dogs, can you stop?
No,
please?
they can't.
I purposely put the dogs up. You guys saw it in my short video that I just posted like 20 minutes ago or an hour ago. That I had to go let the dogs run around outside because they're crazy. And the run around didn't work. They are not tired enough.
I see.
They are definitely not.
You see
I'm looking on that.
Ow,
What do you see, buddy?
Hi, Quinn.
Yes, you will. You'll see some high Quins coming by. We need the double thumbs up to let us know that everything's good. It sounds like, whoa, that person put 5 thumbs. We must have a lot going on today.
Well, we do have a lot going on.
This is very true.
A lot to
Very
talk
true.
about
Piper,
tonight.
can you please behave on camera?
She can't help herself.
Yeah, can you?
There's a thing going on with Piper where
Yeah.
Stella's got her groove back, except it's Piper this time.
Yeah, Piper.
Piper has her whole groove.
Relax. Wah, wah, wah. I didn't create a sound effect for that.
That's really funny.
Okay, so to give you guys a heads up, as you know, if you watched the short video I just put out a little while ago, the studio has gotten a little bit of an update because I grabbed another monitor that we used to use for Puppy Live that we did. By the way, my name's Aaron. Welcome to Syman Says Farms live Q&A. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
I'm his wife.
Oh, you went there.
Oh.
I got a tickle. Sorry, everyone. Coughing. It's not the COVID, I swear.
Could you introduce yourself for real? And I'll just wait until we have a
Oh,
professional.
you're really gonna wait for this? I'm Liz.
There we go. Thank you. So,
As if they don't know.
as if they don't know, you never know.
My shirt literally says owner on it.
It
They
does.
can figure it out.
So we grabbed the other monitor that we were using for the live puppy cam, which is actually Jake's monitor he doesn't use. And I brought it up here because last time we did this in the new studio setup, this laptop in front of me, the words are too tiny when we put your questions that you emailed in on the screen. So I needed a larger screen for Liz to be able to read the questions. And I put it over there. And then I decided today to add in the live count of
Our
subscriber.
live subscriber count for this channel. Nope. Yeah,
yes, for this channel.
So we're close to 25,000. So we're at 24,986. Well, when we started, we were at 24,987. And live, as we're just going live, it clicks one backwards.
Yeah. Somebody left.
We lost one of our villagers.
Somebody left.
They kicked themselves out of the village.
Yeah.
So that's
I wonder if I could swap that. Yeah, I don't want to sit here like this all day. That would be silly.
Yeah.
That would be really
let's
weird.
not.
Let's not do that. But that's kind of funny that I can put that up on the screen.
She's eating your studio.
Yeah, who? Stop, Piper!
She's chewing on the wood.
Come here, or I'm gonna go put you back in your bed.
Come here.
Come on,
Come on.
back in your bed.
Weirdo. Anyway, so she's not pregnant anymore. She's not nursing the puppies anymore. And now she's gone back to being crazy. But I think it's like 10 times crazier than she was prior to her being pregnant. Full on puppy now. Which
Yeah. She's actually quite annoying now. Yeah, she is.
sometimes
She's not
I
like
say that about you.
you say that about me all the time.
I do.
Yep. So do some of these people.
No, I'm sure they're too nice to call you annoying.
Oh no.
They like you're
No.
annoying because they don't have to live with it.
Oh no. I guess but it's okay.
No, you can't please
Especially when
everyone.
I touch my face.
No,
take
that was
my
me
hat
again.
down. That was you.
I said that.
We're just
All right,
letting.
so everybody's wondering what we're drinking tonight. So this
Yeah.
is leftover fall sangria from last night. We had our family Halloween party last night where we all went trick-or-treating from outbuilding to outbuilding.
And it's been a year, so we brought a little extra. If you guys want any, it'll be on camera 3 right here. Just pull the tap whenever you're thirsty.
We'll shake it a little bit
We'll
because
shake it
some
up.
of the stuff settles to the bottom.
Yep.
Anyway, so it's pretty much white wine and apple cider and
Yeah.
fruit.
Yeah.
Apples mostly. Apples, pears, plums.
Yep.
and
A little cinnamon,
and a little
maybe?
bit of, yeah, no, definitely some cinnamon.
Yep.
And I just put in, just before we did this, I just put in the
Not look.
Why? Oh, Quinn, did you see
it
that?
says,
Yeah.
"Hi Quinn, hope you're feeling
Let's put
okay
Quinn on 4.
and have a speedy recovery.
Quinn,
this is for you to buy something."
Oh, Quinn, what are you gonna buy? Oh, I don't
I
know.
don't.
Oh, I know.
Oh, he knows now.
I thought about it.
You thought about it?
Call.
An RC car.
5 seconds
Oh my
of thinking.
goodness. Here, we'll put up Quinn's picture now that we're on that topic. There you go, Quinny.
So for those who don't know,
Yeah.
I was up.
If you don't know.
Yeah, if you don't know, yeah, I was up driving Winnie's fecal sample to Tufts. So I'm in Mass when I get the call that no mom wants to get. Uncle Kevin calls and says, everything's okay except Quinn and Aaron are in the back of the ambulance, and Quinn's going to the hospital with a broken arm. And I'm in the parking lot, like just starting to reach for the door handle. So I'm a solid hour and a half away.
Yeah.
So, you drive as safely and as fast and as quickly as possible to get to the hospital. But yeah, why don't you tell how?
Well, the full story will come out eventually, but the video. No, there's not much content captured during the moment.
No.
But as the evening goes on and you're hanging out in the hospital with your 9-year-old till what, 5 a.m.?
Well, we
5
got
a.m.
Yeah.
And so we got home by exact timing 5:05.
5:05. When we got home.
yeah, we were discharged from the hospital at 4.
Right.
Then we had to try to find a Dunks.
He was starving,
For some
so
food.
I was my stomach was empty.
so he fell off his scooter, a little pedal scooter, like not motorized. Did a little U-turn, fell off, used his hand to break his fall on the driveway, and broke both bones in his forearm.
One of them is
One of them's completely
Oh, he
broken.
did
And then the other
he
one
did
is
a
just
sign
shift.
language one. So one of them is a complete just break through and through, but no shift of the bone. The other one, so that was his ulna. His radius was a complete break, but quite a
This is what they call a what did they say?
disalignment.
A
or, I
something
don't
like
know.
that was not aligned. So
it
he
was
doesn't
not
need
aligned
surgery.
at all. So, but no
no
surgery. They,
I'm glad.
yes, me too.
Yep.
Yeah, they did, but they did have to. Well, they knocked him out, but not like under general.
Right. They gave him a
Anesthesia.
sedative, got him real sleepy, tried to reset it, and then casted it. And then now we have follow-up after follow-up after follow-up to go and make sure the arm heals. The cast
he's
is so
9, so he's
it'll heal. Right.
yeah. The kids are meant to grow bones
Right.
at this age.
They're
so
flexible almost.
Thankfully, he's yeah.
Yeah, they said if it was one of us, you guys would have been in surgery. We would have had to put you in surgery to fix it, put it all back together, pins and
He's
screws,
like Humpty Dumpty.
because your bones don't grow at that age.
Mhm.
But mine.
But his bones will grow over it, so he should be good. Yeah, video coming soon.
Yeah,
That's that
so that
story.
was interesting.
So Quinn's been hanging out with Mom a lot. They've been binge movie watching. He can't lift his arm. The cast weighs too much.
it weighs so
So
much.
he can't. He needs the sling. We got him a new sling on the way. We ordered
It'll
one
come
tomorrow, I
night,
think.
Halloween.
Yeah.
He says he doesn't want to go trick or treating.
You don't want to go trick or treating again? No. Okay, I'll talk to Tyler and Olivia because I think they want to go and maybe they'll get you good stuff. That work? All right. I'll
My
talk to-
other just
his eyebrows went up. So we did a trick or treating around the farm like we normally do. I did not get that picture from you actually. I was gonna ask you for that.
Which
The
picture?
family trick or treating picture.
Oh
you
yeah,
took.
that one.
I don't know if you posted it yet. Nope, not yet. So we don't have that. You'll have to wait for the video coming soon.
Well, that's because Jake. Did Jake ever even join that picture?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jake was running around looking for stuff.
To
Yep.
complete his costume.
Yes.
Very last minute.
Very last minute.
So
Okay.
we got some questions that came in for
We did.
this Q&A tonight. It's pretty much 3 questions
Not
that
really.
everybody asked. The
Yes,
same ones.
this is very true.
Because these are the hot topics right now.
A
So.
lot of them were definitely very repetitive. For example, the last time we did a Q&A, we had 26 questions submitted prior to Q&A. This time we had 14. And it was hard for me to get to 14 because the same question might show up a few times. We still have not even picked up one subscriber yet. We actually lost one since the start of this Q&A. I know, it still hurts. It's okay.
Right.
I built something just for Yes.
I came very unprepared.
Yes, you did.
I don't have my phone.
Okay. Do we need it? Okay.
How am I going to answer one of the questions without all the phone information?
Hold, please. Anything else you would like to talk about?
Well, maybe I didn't.
We're
Maybe it's here somewhere, but
We're
I
going to
just
call
don't
in the
know.
reinforcements.
Oh, it's right
Oh,
there.
never mind. I got it.
Okay.
It's right here.
We're still calling in the reinforcements. See if he picks up. I don't know if he's going to pick up. We're calling the backstage. Hey, backstage crew, I need help. We are live. No, not yet. That's later. But I need an orange soda for Quinn. Yes, and bring it upstairs quietly, please. Okay, thank you. Bye. All right, there. Quinn, backstage crew is getting you a soda. He's like, yes.
Finally.
Finally, he says. Finally. All right. Are we ready?
Oh, sure.
I was just waiting to get one new subscriber before we. I'm just kidding. Okay,
That's
here we
gonna
go.
take hours.
Oh, thanks, kid.
I was
Just saying. Okay, here we go. Question number 1. Let's see if it's big enough so you could read it off
Yep.
your screen.
That's huge.
He said that's huge.
That's huge.
Oh,
Bonnie and
Oh!
more. Oh, Granny Barb.
Hang on, I
For
missed
Quinn to get Halloween, whatever.
Halloween.
You can get whatever you want for Halloween.
Here, I'll put up Quinn here when he was like 4. If I
Oh.
can find. If I can find it.
From when he was
Here it is.
4.
thank you very much. I was 8.
Okay, that was not when he was 4.
Okay,
8.
fine. He was a little 8, sure. Okay, you were probably 7.
No, I was 8.
What are you saying?
Thank you.
He already did in the video, but a live thank you, it goes a long way too. Yeah, so Bonnie and more
Yes.
ask, when Winnie is ready for her reintegration back into the herd, is it because she has lost her standing in the herd, or is it because they will see her as a stranger? The first one. She's completely going to be, she's pretty low on the totem pole anyway, because if you think about it, she's a baby, and she's the only one that doesn't have the protection of a mom. So she naturally is going to be pretty low on the totem pole. So the reintegration is going to be difficult for her. It's going to be real slow. At night, she'll likely continue being in stall 4 just so that she has, we got one.
We got one?
We
We got one. Hang on. We got a subscriber. I got to find the little thing I built.
Oh gosh, we're going to do this.
Every
13.
yes, every time. There we go.
He's
That's
gonna
it.
need
We got
help
one.
opening it. He
Yeah.
only has one arm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, Tyler. He only has one arm.
Okay, you're special.
You're
You're also 13. He's not.
Yeah, I would pass out if I were around.
Mhm.
Yes, you would have.
Yeah, you would have. So yeah.
Just let me know
Okay,
when
that
you need
doesn't-
chai.
Oh, Tyler, you weren't supposed to talk about that.
Or not.
Or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, Winnie, right?
Yeah, Winnie. I gotta ask though. Can somebody tell me if there was any sound to that subscriber little thing I just posted? Because we can't hear sounds.
No, well, because if we heard sound, then they would hear sound again, and it would just reverb.
Yes, sort of. Yeah.
Really?
You got a hole in your chin too? The doctors
Yes.
missed that
Somebody
part.
said yes, they heard sound. Yes.
Okay.
Good. So you heard the goat sounds
Goats,
and all
I
the
heard goats.
good, perfect.
So yeah, it's
Winnie.
like I said, it'll be a slow
Reintegration.
process.
Yeah.
I know we had like follow-up questions.
Yeah, she doesn't
to
want to
that
get
one,
into
too.
too much detail with that, so we'll move
'Cause I
on.
could go for an hour talking about everything that I need to talk
Yeah,
about.
whatever you guys did not ask in the pre-submitted emails, we will obviously do open questions. We always do for those new people that are here, and welcome. And then also we have things we'll talk about that are not even questions. That'll probably answer some questions that are out there that you just haven't asked. Is
Right.
basically what I was thinking. So, all right, next question. Here it comes.
Susan asks, I understand it was being said in chat this morning, which was the morning that I ended up saying that, by a lot of people that Gus is being castrated. Is that true? That is one of our top asked questions.
It is.
So we thought about it for probably 6, 7, 8 months now. That probably since last breeding season, actually. So it's almost been a year. That what are we going to do with Gus? And I was not ready to really make a final decision about that. And just over the last year, Gus has pretty much told me I don't want to breed him.
Yeah.
And that has a lot to do with his genes are too closely related to all of our current La Mancha breeding girls. They're either full sisters. Actually, no, they're all full sisters. So I can't really do that. Can't breed a brother to a sister. That's not good for goats.
Oh, we got another one. Okay, keep going.
But also, it comes down to his temperament.
Pause. It's only 3 seconds. Thank you.
They're gonna get sick of that.
They might get sick of it.
So it comes down to his temperament. He's a real big butthead, like quite literally a butthead. He's hurt you once for a buck is too many times, but
Yeah, he's a pain in the butt.
just cannot
When
trust him.
When it comes to breeding, we don't just breed to breed. Okay, fine. I'll do it every other one, just in case people are going to get annoyed. But it was also supposed to be transparent. We were supposed to still see us through it, like so it just overlays. But I don't know how to do that yet. I'll learn one of these days. We don't just breed to breed. We breed for purpose, and you wouldn't want to breed Gus. His attitude, you wouldn't want to rebreed that.
Yeah, it's like the top things that I look for in a breeding goat,
Right.
male or female, is first and foremost overall conformation. So you got to be
Right.
the right build, and you're a dairy goat, so we're going to want high milk production, and we're going to want good genetics. So nice strong legs, nice conformation. So the things that the judges look for at shows, that's what we look for in our breeding stock here.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that we look for is personality, because I'm not going to trust my kids in with an animal who likes to headbutt them, because the goat is going to quickly outweigh the kid.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to be headbutt by a goat. Doesn't make for a good experience.
Oh, he needs help.
I have to go to the potty.
Oh, you have to
go
go
downstairs.
potty?
You're going to have to go downstairs to go potty.
He could go potty right here.
No,
No.
wall and stuff.
Wall and
Wall
stuff.
and stuff.
You gonna be okay?
Yep, he can do it.
You want me to call in Tyler?
No.
He can do
Okay,
it.
bye-bye.
He's a big, strong
See
kid.
ya. All right, go slow.
So
Use the railing with the good arm.
So Gus is he's kind of proven that he shouldn't be bred. And that's fine. So we're going to plan on castrating him. And I know somebody asked, like, well, if we castrate him, will that change that bad behavior? Maybe yes, maybe no.
Yeah.
But I've got, 4 or 5 other intact males over there who, despite having all the hormones rushing through their bodies, don't make those kinds of choices,
Right.
with the headbutting. So it's not necessarily because he's intact.
Okay, keep going. I'm just thinking, I'm trying to produce a show here, and I'm wondering why it went all red when you were talking. So I just want to make sure we're not blowing people's ears out. Go ahead, keep going. I'm watching like 800 things.
You're just distracting me tonight.
It's ADD. That's what this is all about, this whole room. Okay, so yeah, Gus. He shouldn't be doing that.
No. So yes, we'll castrate him. We'll give him a nice 2 weeks to recover from that, if not longer, depending on what he needs, and then he will go over to House of Fine. That was the follow-up question.
Yes. Okay, moving back to our questions. Number 3.
So, Dale asked, can you explain about Gus? Well, I thought you,
I kind of kept them in there because they might have a little extra in that question.
okay. And will Asher get his own apartment? So as of right now, no. I plan on keeping Asher, Winston, and Yoshi together in the red barn for all of winter. And that's just because they're little boys and they need more of a protective building than, the little calf hutches that are out there with the big boys. They don't have as much meat on their bones. They don't, they just don't weather the winter as well as the bigger, when they get older.
Good. Yeah, that's why I left that in. There was that extra layer of the Asher part to it.
Yeah. I think we covered this the last Q&A.
We might have.
Claudia asked, will Winnie be bred in the future, or will she be a pet goat?
I know that question.
Go ahead, you can answer it.
No.
No what?
No, because we don't want to, move.
Oh, we
Right.
don't want to move.
So
Okay.
no, we're not going to breed Winnie. She's going to be our pet. She's going to be the people's goat. Everybody's going to come and see Winnie because she's, like Princess Diana.
She's now the people's goat.
She's the people's goat.
Maybe.
Yep.
There was another follow-up question. Will Gus's behavior be an issue in House of Pie? So the issue with Gus in House of Pie, I'm hoping, he'll meet Danica and change his tune.
Yeah.
I don't.
Danica, Roman,
Thor and Thunder
Yeah,
and Pie and Billy. They're not going to take.
He'll end up pretty low on the totem pole, or right in the middle somewhere.
They're not going to take his.
Yeah.
His crap, not for 2 seconds. So there will be a learning curve for Gus, and it's something that he's going to need.
Yeah.
A big dose of Danica.
A big dose of Danica. I can see that GIF now.
a big dose of Danica.
A big dose of Danica.
Yeah.
That was Claudia's question. All right. The other biggest question of the night.
Yeah. So when will the retired?
Can you get that out of her mouth?
Tissue.
Oh, Piper.
When will the retired moms be moved to House of Pie? That's a loaded question. Loaded question.
So do
Yeah.
we move into the conversation with the vet?
We can move into the whole conversation with the vet. It just means I'm not going to be taking questions for a while because it's a big one.
Yeah, so hold your questions in Q&A. I see some popping up over there. We can't really get to them usually while we're scrolling. So we were able to catch that one. But
So, as y'all probably know, Dr. Lindsay wanted to set up a meeting to go over. It was technically called a whole herd health appointment. So we were going over everything, but with the main focus of what the heck are we going to do with these parasites? Because while it was a horrible problem throughout her whole practice, it's something that we wanted to make sure, is there something that we can be doing better or differently to kind of help mitigate the issue? We're never going to completely eradicate the situation. We'll always have to deal with worms, but what can we do to help not get into a high load like we had this year? So Dr. Lindsay came out. That was also the time that she used to recheck Winnie. It was like Winnie's 2-week follow-up with her. She did blood work. I took a fecal and then took it to Tufts, and then you broke your arm.
yeah, that's how it went. That's how it all went down.
And so we spent a long time going through the nitty-gritties, and it, we're pretty much changing up everything, how we're doing everything.
It went up and down. Craziness.
Okay.
Right.
So we've decided that we pulled fecals for everybody moving over to House of Pie. So Amy, Sadie, Charlotte, Lucy, and Genevieve.
Yeah, that might
I think
be it.
those are the 5, right?
Yeah, somewhere on there.
4 and then 5. Yeah. So we pulled fecals on everybody because what we want to make sure is that nobody's moving from Cassie's Castle over to House of Pie and shedding parasites over in that grass and in that barn. And then we're just moving problems. So we do that. We'll make sure that those fecals come back clean, or we treat them and then they're clean and then they can go. That was step number 1, is before we can move anybody, we have to wait for that. Step number 2, we'll probably also be moving all of this year's babies to House of Pie as well. So that'll be Dolce, Bonnie, Gianna, and Vixen. Winnie will be staying in Cassie's Castle. Because she doesn't have,
No,
not because
Why
she
not?
has worms, because she doesn't have anybody safe over there for her. So she's not big enough to defend herself. The other ones have all been living together, so we're gonna keep everybody together. Now, one thing that y'all might be worried about though is how is Dolce and Bonnie and Vixen and Gianna are gonna protect themselves from like Thor and Thunder and the big boys over there. So we decided to split House of Pie into 2 separate barns. They will never mingle together. Oh boy.
I'll be right back. You stay here. Okay. Keep talking.
Why is it every time we go live?
I don't know. Just keep talking.
So we'll split the barns into 2, inside and outside. So you guys have followed along the back of the barn. We've never grazed anybody over in the back paddock. Aaron just got it all like unweeded, and he's been cleaning up the fence line, and he it's always been set up for paddock rotation back there. So we'll keep the main House of Pie goats in the front, so they'll have their inside space will be half as big, but then they'll go out to the front paddock and they'll stay out there because that paddock isn't getting overgrazed. There's only 6 mouths. And even in the drought this year, it still has a lot of growth on the grass. So I'm not worried that they will continue. They won't overgraze that. The little ones, the ones that are now the new retired girls, and the little what we'll call yearlings, they'll be in the other side of House of Pie on the inside. And the way that the barn will kind of be configured is they'll only have one way outside, and it'll lead them right to the back paddock. So we'll have 2 paddocks, 2 sections of the barn. It'll pretty much be the two barns in one. Then when it's time for kidding season, about 45 days before the first due date, we will section off the aisle where all of the kidding pens are. So stalls 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll section that off so that the girls who are pregnant and are getting ready to have babies will not be able to access the aisle. They'll completely muck out the aisle, and we won't allow anybody to poop on that ground until it's time to put up each individual stall and the moms are ready to have their baby. So about 45 days before the first baby drops is when they no longer get access to the aisle. That is to help prevent and kill off any parasites that might be living in the ground in the aisle, so that when the babies are born, mom's clean, but we also, like parasite wise, mom is clean, but we also know that the babies won't accidentally pick up something from the ground, that everybody's been pooping on. So if we make sure that the ground is only being pooped on by their mom, then so then let's see. So then once the moms are starting to go into their birthing suites, we have 9 moms right now that are not confirmed pregnant, but we've bred at least 9 of them. We have 9 stalls for them without them having to use Gen Pop FEMA trailers like we have in years past. So once moms start moving into their kidding stalls, we will then move everybody out of Gen Pop into their kidding stalls, muck out Gen Pop, and leave it bare and naked for the 3 or 4 weeks that they're going to be in their kidding stalls. That'll give it enough time where, again, with the colder temperatures and time of nobody pooping on that ground, that when babies and moms start moving over into Gen Pop, we'll have a lower population, let's say, of potential parasites. So we're doing all of this to help make sure that it's the lowest amount of parasites that the babies can be exposed to as possible, because the moms aren't going to get parasites from a young animal like a baby. The babies are always going to be the ones infected by moms or older animals. What are we doing about Winnie during this time? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't gotten to that part yet. But Winnie's not moving. I don't want Winnie moving out of Cassie's castle. I think that's kind of going to be her home forever. There are some thoughts and ideas. I don't know what's going to happen and when with Gus. I don't know what is going to happen and when with Giovanni. I don't know what and when is going to happen with Grayson. Those 3 goats kind of make way for an extra pen if they were all to be gone in some capacity. Gone meaning in a different barn, gone meaning, passed over to, in Rainbow's Bridge or whatever, or passed on to another farm. So I don't know. I really would like to keep Winnie in the barn, and depending on what happens, maybe we just section her off into a smaller section within Gen Pop, but then that would kind of defeat the purpose of keeping that area poop free. So I really don't know, but we'll kind of have to figure that out. Maybe if not everybody gets bred, whoever didn't take moves over to House of Pie, and then Winnie takes that pen. Because like I said, I have nine pens, and I have 9 potential possibilities for pregnant goats. So then if maybe only 7 or 8 of them actually take, if somebody comes back into heat, maybe I won't breed them, and then that will be where Winnie goes, like back into stall 4. Then comes, well, what do we do with the outside paddock? So Dr. Lindsay suggested that we section off a section like right past where the boys' gate is to get to the breeding buck, the breeding buck area. Right past there, maybe a couple fence sections further towards the playground, and then all the way over to the patio, to the back side of the farm store. So from that whole section across the front of the paddock will be white fence. So in the springtime, usually we section off the porch so that when the babies get old enough, they can go outside, but not really be outside. But this year, permanently, we will have a fence that goes and cuts that area in half, just a little bit bigger, and it might end up being completely dirt because worms don't like living in dirt. Then we talked about bringing in and flipping over the pasture that's further out. So the stuff that's less healthy, shorter, just not really real pasture grass. And so we'll bring in some dirt, flip over what's there, seed it. Actually, that's step 2. Step 1 is to put in posts. So we're going to put one line of fence down the middle of that paddock, splitting that new front area now into 2. So we'll have a gate on each section so that goats can come in and out. And we'll shoot the fence down the center of the paddock, and then bring in the dirt, flip over the grass, plant the seed. It'll be a minimum of, I want to say, 6 to 8 weeks for the grass to really set in and grow and be healthy and grazable. That sets us up so that we now have 3 places, 3 paddocks for rotation. We did 2 things. We took away 5 or 6, actually more than that, 9 poopers. We took away 9 poopers and moved them over to House of Pie, leaving 9 or 10 poopers left in Cassie's Castle. So right off the bat, half the herd, half the poopers are gone. Dr. Kerr has always said the secret, the solution to pollution is dilution. So if we dilute by taking, either giving them more land or taking some that are there and moving them, then we have less poop in the same amount of area, or we have more area, which means the poop gets spread out and it's not so concentrated. Also, it allows, if you have more land, then the goats aren't eating down what's there as quickly as they are now. But the rotation is something that we've needed to do for a long time, because that means we're giving the land the rest and we're ending the life cycle of the parasite. So that's kind of what we talked about It seems like it kind of like this is gonna work. I'm kind of hopeful that um, we'll have less issues. I know Dr. Lindsay, she understands how we run our farm because Dr. Kara as well. She had mentioned though, like really the only way to really mitigate or eradicate coccidia is so that you take the babies away from the moms because the moms are the ones that pass coccidia to the babies. But the doctors know that that's not a viable option. That's great for other farmers who decide that that's the route that they're going to go down, but we're not going to do that. So this is what we're going to have to do in order to, do what's best for us on both sides, like kind of like an ethical thing, but also just scientifically, like this makes sense. So that's kind of what we talked about. Big changes, and I think it's going to help. I'm not too thrilled about having babies over in House of Pie right away, but they'll come back when it's breeding season. They might even be able to come back once babies go home in June or July, but that's going to be heavily weighed by whether or not we keep any babies this year and what the weather's like, if it's going to be really hot, how did the pasture grow in, how is that all going. So the more mouths we bring over to the pasture, the faster they'll eat the grass down. So we just have to be really careful and watch and be mindful of, like, if it's not working, then we need to figure something else out. So, am I boring you?
Ugh.
That's a lot. It's a lot to take in.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot. So, there really isn't much else that we talked about with Dr. Lindsay. But yeah, she gave us a lot of homework. So I'm not really sure where the questions are because his computer's over there. So, and I'm not even looking at the camera because I keep looking at chat. So let's see. Oh, I'm so sorry, Stella. Did I bake you? And now his mouse. That's because his mouse is over here. Excuse me, Stella. No, I'm laying on Stella.
Oh.
All right, let's see. What was the next? Okay, here's this one. All right, so do the other puppies have forever homes? So we've got one puppy who's completely under deposit. Nobody's come to visit them yet because they just got their vaccines on Tuesday. So nobody has come to see them. I want to give them at least a week.
Oh.
What?
The subscribe thing.
Oh yeah, we switched over to 990. 24990. So Max is the only one that's under deposit, and Beans has an interested family, and I believe they're all coming to see their puppies on next Saturday or Sunday. Not sure. And then that leaves Java. So because Chai is staying here. I don't know who doesn't know that by now. I think everybody knows that by now. That Chai is staying here. So yeah, Chai is staying here. All right. Next question. All right. So if Gus is castrated and moving to House of Pie, will Asher be moved to his old area outside? I think we talked about this. If we're gonna leave the 3 Musketeers in the red barn for now. Now, come spring, I don't know who will be where, but the ultimate plan is to have Asher go into Giovanni's pen and to have Yoshi go into Winston. I mean, not Winston. Yoshi and Winston go into Grayson's pen. That is ultimately the plan. That leaves Gus's area kind of a floating area. I'm not really sure who or what will go in there.
Did you have to reach that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It might be that, I don't know.
Not a good angle.
Nope. I thought maybe for a little while there that maybe Winnie and Winston would just stay in the red barn and then their outdoor area would be part, like a changed version of Gus's pen. But I really don't want Winston and Winnie over in the red barn. I want to keep Winnie in Cassie's castle, and depending on how things go with Winston and Yoshi, maybe Winston even comes back into Cassie's castle. But again, the more Hoopers that we have in Cassie's castle, the harder our job of keeping the parasite population low will be. So,
Okay.
Good?
Yeah, we're good.
Good.
All right, let's see. I'm going to ask you what you talked about, but I got to hit this button. I noticed that we're
I
at
literally
990.
talked about it all.
You talked about it all. Okay.
Lindsay's entire visit.
So let's see here. So let's show that picture of House of Pie with the yellow section being a new indoor section. You talked about that? About how we might build the...
I just said that the House of Pie was going to be split into two. I didn't really go into details as far as...
So if you could see the arrows...
Expansion.
Yeah, a lot of work has to be done. So that might help a little. Let's see this picture. Oh, that's House of Pie without it. It's not the greatest shot because the deck is so under the porch will be half the size, and where you see
and well, kitty
those
corner,
arrows.
yeah. So that red door, I don't want any doors facing out in front of House of
Right.
Pie because of snow falling off the roof and everything. Will end up burying the door. So the door remains under the porch just like we like it. And that helps us move. That will help us. I have no idea why.
What was
that's
that
there.
picture for? I don't know.
That will help us. That one. That'll help us be able to move hay into their area without having to go through like Pie's area.
Right. Right.
So
and those go to leave the barn via that red arrow you see, and they get the
towards
whole
the back to the left of
Yeah.
the new area.
Yeah.
There's already a gate back there that
we'll have
can,
to change that. But
yeah, but
Yeah. So that's
It's already
the
there.
entrance to their back paddock, which Lindsay liked. She's like, I don't think you need to turn this over or do anything back here.
just let them eat it.
Just let them eat it. They'll love it. Under the porch. That's under the porch of House of Pie.
Yep. So half of the barn, half of this area will be boxed in. A door will be added, and that'll make it so that it's big enough inside for the goats to have enough room
Right. Yeah.
inside. So,
Yeah.
okay.
All right. So that's that part. Oh, excuse me. Let me see if I can find my picture.
So there was a follow-up. How does this affect next year's goat snuggle sessions?
Yes.
It does not.
Well, it does and does not. Did you talk
really.
about the field on?
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't affect Goat Snuggles, as in we've already decided Goat Snuggles is going April, May, and June. By the time we hit 4th of July, attendance drops a lot.
Yeah, it's vacation season.
It's vacation season, and it's just financially not worth it. Goats are starting to go home, and it's getting really hot, and we want to have summer. So Goat Snuggles is being crammed into that 90-day window, April, May, June. And the only difference is in this field you see here. This is what I'm thinking we're going to do. I know you can't see my mouse.
Right. We
but
did talk about this.
You might see field 1, which is right off Cassie's Castle. And then what day are we on? What week or month? Is it every 20 days, every 30? We don't know.
Yeah.
Are the goats going out to field 1 and 2 for the day, or are they going out to 1 and 3 for the day? That's kind of how it'll work. But in the build process, the goats will only have access to field 1 while we build out field 2, field 3, and flip it all, bring in a little extra dirt, plant seed, like turn it into a real field. So it's very possible that Goat Snuggles this year might only happen in field 1. Like
That is
literally
small.
very small for the beginning, but we got to plant new grass and we got to give it time to root.
Yeah, considering though that it's, 25 people
Yeah.
and there'll be 9 moms and only really up to 18 babies
roughly, yeah.
roughly. It's I think it's still enough room.
Yeah.
And it might even help kind of the babies and the moms from wandering away, like when they want to get
Yeah.
away.
I mean, we've done a Goat Snuggles with 25 people in the barn only on a rainy day.
Had
So
to, yeah.
it could totally be done. And that'll give the season, because we can't plant until like early March. You know, we got to flip it all, turn it into dirt, and early March plant, and then it needs 6 weeks to 8 weeks before they can go on
They're
it.
just looking at that picture now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. I still have the field up. Hang on, let me get the field. There you go. Now
There
you
we
can see.
are.
Now you can see us. So yeah, that's the plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
So financially, that's where the extra cash or money, cash, whatever you want to call it,
Donations.
from the Winnie donation day will be going. All the new fencing, all the dirt, whether we got to rent tools, whatever we have to do to make that project work is kind of where all
So
that's going to go.
snugglers, Bonnie said, so snugglers won't be able to snuggle with the babies that moved to House of Pie. So like Dolce and them,
So we have a plan for that, possibly.
not that we talked about.
Not that we talked about, but
Okay,
we're,
so then I don't
we're going
have-
to discuss a plan for that. There you go. That's what we're going to do.
Okay, because
We're-
I don't know of such plans.
We don't know of such. We'll think of something.
Okay.
Yeah. Put it this way: if you travel in and you want to meet Thunder and you want to meet Dolce, you'll be able to meet Dolce and
That's-
Thunder. That's kind of the point.
That's
It's always
kind
been
of
that way.
how everybody we've
Right.
always run it. So
Right. But I do feel that House of Pie, let's be honest, if you guys don't know this, 90%, 85% of the people that snuggle our goats have no idea who we are. They don't know we're on YouTube. They have no idea the village. They don't follow us on any social. They see an ad, they show up, they pet some goats. Then they learn the story and they may or may not follow, right? So the village is totally, some of you have seen it. You're here, you traveled from states away, and there's 24 people here other than you that are like, you're almost watching like, these people have no idea what they're, like, who they're like, that goat's famous. Like, do you know? No, you don't know that
I
goat's
have
that
no
goat's
idea.
mom, and they have no idea. So my point is, over the course of a season, there'll be 100 people that want to go to House of Pie. There'll be thousands of people that pet the goats. For those 100 people that show up and want to go see Dolce, we'll make it happen.
right.
So that's kind of the theory.
Some questions about like, well, what do you think? I haven't even thought about this, but what do you think the approximate cost of this project is going to be between the upgrades to House of Pie, the upgrade to the paddock in Cassie's Castle?
So there's a lot of decisions that need to be made. So in House of Pie, and these are conversations we haven't even had a chance to have yet with Quinn's broken arm, we went from Lindsay's appointment to, okay, what are we going to do with the fencing, blah, blah, blah. Let's talk about it later.
No, I literally left, like Lindsay left the house.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's the same
and
day.
I went to Tufts.
You're right.
And then we met at the hospital.
And then we met at the hospital.
So we have not spoken since Lindsay's
Right.
appointment.
Yeah, we haven't discussed completely. Now, we do know that this House of Pie project is going to happen very soon. Pretty much before Thanksgiving.
I almost said something, but I can't give them that
Yeah.
timeline. So yeah, it's definitely going to happen like before December.
Yeah, pretty much before December. So I'm going to start pretty much right after this Q&A or tomorrow, start taking measurements, figuring out how much wood I need, calling the lumber yard, figuring out how much his wood costs. Are we at COVID pricing? Are we below COVID? Start mapping it all out, obviously with design conversations. Where are we putting this door? Are we putting a big sliding door on the back so we can just slide it open and let them out? What are we going to do, to be able to let them in and out via that back into their paddock? So I got to calculate all that. And then that's the House of Pie project, to be honest, is easier than the Cassie Castle project. Cassie Castle, building a fence in a paddock that's almost all rock is going to be a nightmare. So now we have to decide, are we building this with nice white fencing like you see on our farm? Or are we just using the green posts that jam into the ground and then we hang metal fencing on it and we just go that way? I don't know the answer yet.
So what I had thought was maybe that front section that creates paddock 1 would remain the white fence.
I agree. With normal doors only about 3 feet wide. 4 feet maybe. We can go 4-footers.
You know those little gates that we've got in the back of
Yes,
barn?
4-footers. Yep.
So 4-foot gate, because that way it's easy to walk through with a goat next to you if you need to.
Yeah. They're not tractor gates, is my point.
No, but I really don't think that green stakes are going to be a good option in that area, because the way that green stakes are most effective is if the green stake is on the outside of the metal.
Yeah, you're right.
And if the metal is going to be on the inside and the outside,
right,
then how are you gonna?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think aesthetically, we may just stick with the white fence.
We may just do the white fencing. Yeah, we may.
Because I've noticed, and I think you've noticed too, we use green stakes in with the boys.
Yep.
They shift, they move, they're all wonky.
Oh yeah, it's a pain.
They get pushed against and they
Yep.
move. The white ones don't go anywhere.
Yeah, white is one and done, but a lot more expensive. It's that simple. Yeah.
Well, you know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
I like to do things once. I don't have time to do repeat sessions.
Right.
So I don't care if it costs a little bit more,
Right.
but it gets done, and then you don't have to touch it other than
Yeah.
maybe painting.
So you pretty much just heard. It's going to be the white fencing.
I think it'll look cute.
It'll
too.
look cute. I got to calculate how many fence posts do we need, how much wood. So all that math has to be done. All the measurements have to be done. Then from there, we'll know the total. And more than likely, there's enough from the Winnie project to now. So
Yeah, Winnie's bill was a
don't worry
little
about
higher
that.
than we thought it was going to be, but it still fell into the range of everything that y'all donated, which was amazing.
Yeah, you can see here. Here's some of the fencing we built. This was when we were building. That's the front of Cassie's castle.
That's the tree that tried to kill Moo.
That is the one way in the distance.
The
That
big
is-
one.
Yeah. And
That's the tree.
and let's see if I can
If you
find.
don't know that story, it's on YouTube
Yeah.
somewhere.
This is just the little kids watching the tree project. I felt like dropping that in there.
Oh my
You know,
gosh, it was so cute.
little Jake and Tyler looking out the window,
A little toe pin.
watching. Yep, watching the guys work.
Probably when Tyler found his love for machines.
Yeah, that might have been it. I don't know what this picture is, so brace yourself.
Oh God.
Oh, I know what that is.
Oh, I know what that
That
is.
was hilarious.
Oh man, we were at Costco
Yeah.
and we were like, they must have a teenage son that drinks a lot of milk too.
Yeah, so I took that picture for Jake. I was like, Jake, this guy drinks more milk than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were doing
So
with all
that
that milk.
Making cheese. Who knows?
I think it's
Lots of cereal.
yeah.
Yeah, lots of cereal.
Lots of cereal, lots
Yeah.
of just plain milk.
Plain milk.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, I don't have any more fence pictures. I don't think. I
Yeah,
think
I don't want
to
to talk about who we're gonna upset when we move all these babies to House of Pie. You gotta
Yeah.
understand, I don't like this.
So-
I don't like the plan to
It-
move babies into House of Pie. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
But it's very simple.
But I
That's,
have to do it.
Yeah, it comes down to age immunity and having all these babies live with all these moms all the time. That's the challenge. Did you talk about what's going on during kidding in the barn? Got it.
Yeah.
So from a
But that's
technical-
why it has to happen, because if
Right.
we leave the babies and they don't go into a kidding stall with the rest of everybody, then I can't muck out the main part of of Cassie's castle, and then that area doesn't get a rest, so
Right.
that when all the new babies are ready to go into Gen Pop, now they won't have gotten that
that 40-day rest or
40,
whatever.
45-day rest, and
Yeah.
I have to do what's best for the new babies coming up. And honestly, I mean, it's not like they're going to be thrown into a shack.
No,
You know, it's
they're going to
House
have
of
a
Pie.
beautiful barn. They're going to have a better pasture. They're going to have like a view of the pond. And don't worry, from a technology standpoint, I'm working on more cameras and different angles. And it'll be kind of like, I'll just pick a day. Okay, today we're watching the back paddock of House of Pie with the retired mom, the Sadie and that group. Or
Yeah.
today we're watching the front with Thunder and that group. Or we're in Cassie's Cat. Like, we'll just bounce around. It'll be different all the time. So
There's always like
I-
this wrench in my heart when anybody moves out of Cassie's Castle, because Cassie's Castle is the main barn.
Right.
That is where I spend the vast majority of my time. If I went over to House of Pie and spent as much time over there as I spend in Cassie's Castle, I wouldn't get anything done.
Right.
If I then went over to the Way Barn and all the boys and spent all that time there too, I mean,
Yeah.
I would get up in the morning and then go to bed and
Yeah.
not get anything done. So it makes my heart heavy when goats move over there. Like, there's
Yeah.
been kidding seasons where we've like, okay, we're moving all of these babies over there, and I literally cry, and it's like, oh my God, they're staying here. All they're doing is moving across the driveway. But it's really a heavy time for me, because moving them means my relationship with them changes a little bit. And that sounds ridiculous, but it's factual.
And I'll be back to talk about that. And by the way, somebody left again. We're back down to 989.
Well done.
Oops, I accidentally hit it twice, but I figured it was worth it.
We said thank you to Karen and thank you to
somebody
else that did a donation for Quinny earlier.
All right, Piper.
Piper's hot now.
Piper, are you okay?
She's like,
go ahead, go lay down. Go ahead.
No, don't kick her
You
off.
gonna go
She
down?
Want to.
She wants to. She's
No,
like
she
thinking
didn't.
about
You pushed her.
She's good.
You saw it.
Bye-bye.
They saw it. You pushed her.
Yeah, I pushed her. So I was thinking about that. I was thinking about basically your fear of these goats moving over to House of Pie.
It's not a fear.
Not
it's
the fear,
just,
but the disconnect.
I just
right?
don't like. And no, Allison, you didn't upset me, so it's okay. Because it's always been there. That feeling has always been there.
Yeah.
It's just the relationship changes a little bit because I can't spend that much time with them, and there's just a routine in Cassie's Castle that they'll no longer be a part of.
Right. Yeah.
And that hurts. Like it, I don't know.
So I was thinking,
but it's ridiculous to
of that.
Yeah.
And I was also thinking of the villagers that want to come and meet, the Dolces of the world, right? Of putting some type of bench or sitting area
over there.
You know how when you get the House of Pie, you have that opening?
I do.
Putting a bench there where you can sit and kind of hang out. Just somewhere to sit where you're not in the paddock. You're not getting jumped on by a goat.
Right, but you can sit down and enjoy both paddocks.
You can
watch.
Right.
You can watch House of Pie like the boys, the frat house over there with Queen Danica, which will remain that setup because it is a
right. And then you'll
have an established herd.
Right, and then you'll have the back paddock with the other. So if you want to do treats at the fence line, or you just want to sit there and social media for a little bit, but hang out with your goats, kind of like the chairs outside of Cassie's Castle. We just need a sitting area chair, so
you can get like a park bench,
like a park bench or something to sit over
like
there.
Like a little plaque, villager plaque.
Yeah, something like that.
Know.
So I thought about it. I was
like you see at the park.
We need a place over here to sit and hang out for 20 minutes, whatever you want to eat. So I thought of that. The villagers can go hang out over there. We can hang out over there. But you're right. Over there is like get in, do your work, get out. There are no seats.
Yeah, because by that point,
right.
It's 11 o'clock and I haven't done anything yet.
Right. Exactly. So okay. So you talked about everything.
I really did touch upon almost everything.
Sort of. And I already showed you that picture. Did I show you that picture?
Yes.
No. Oh, that's.
We have no idea.
That picture is the new field that we're working on, where the soccer field used to be, and the new trees being taken down, just opening it up.
Yeah, we took down a bunch of little saplings that
field
were starting to grow in.
And I think I uploaded that picture twice, maybe.
Yeah, you did.
Did I? Let's see. Nope, that's House of Pie. That's the back paddock of House of Pie. That's under the porch of House of Pie. And that's Chai Chai, who was editing videos with me.
Chai.
And then where are we at next? Oh,
so there was a follow-up question from Granny Barb about have you considered enclosing part of Cassie's porch for room for some of the babies to not go to House of Pie? That would not fix the pooping in the grass problem.
Yeah, it won't fix. Yeah, we need the Gen Pop area of House of Pie, of Cassie's Castle, when all moms with babies. So if I don't know if you said it this way, but what's going to happen now is mid-February, all moms are getting their kidding stalls, and they don't move into their kidding stall until like 2 days before they have a baby. Now they're going to move into their kidding stall a week or two before they have their babies. So we will keep an eye on like, all right, we need to give this girl some sun, let her outside for a little bit, but we have to finish off the fence to create paddock 1 first, because we can have no poop on paddock 2 and 3 for a good 40, 50 days to kill everything off.
It's really not a good idea to have any poop on anything.
Any paddock, 1, 2, right.
1, 2, 3, and Gen Pop while the moms are pregnant.
Right. So we're
in their kidding stalls. So they go into their kidding stalls, and Gen Pop, paddock 1, paddock 2, and paddock 3 stay empty.
Right.
For the entire time that the moms are at the end of their pregnancy and raising the babies for the first 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. So that I'm like, where are we going to put the main camera? We're not going to leave the main cam in Cassie's Castle in the corner.
The main camera is going to be shot over stalls 1, 2, and 3 like it usually is.
Yeah, we have a main.
That'll be the main cam, the only cam, and then we'll have the floating cam as far as like, okay, this one's on baby watch.
Right, and we'll just have to bounce. Oh, I'm like, my head is spinning about different camera options, so I'm thinking about you guys. But it's always babies before business. And when I almost said Kara,
Dr. Lindsay.
when Lindsay says it, if you're asking me what needs to be done, I mean, dairy farms take babies away from moms for a reason.
Yeah, I've told her.
Or
I
like
told them
she's like,
that's
but you're
an
not going to
option.
do that, and you shouldn't do that. You don't have to. Don't do it. Let moms raise their babies.
But here's what we have to do because you're not
But-
willing to.
Right, but because you're not
Yeah.
willing to do that, we need to be able to do this, and that makes sense. And we're like, all right, this is going to suck for YouTube. This is going to be damaging on goat snuggles. And then
I'm
we're
sorry,
like,
the
but in the
first-
end, it's babies before business. We have no choice.
That was not my first
Sorry.
response.
Oh, what were you saying?
I'm sorry, but I didn't care what it was going to do to YouTube
Yeah, no.
or goat snuggles
It's-
because I know what we went through
Correct.
last kidding season,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and if I can do anything to prevent that from happening again, I will.
100%. I didn't think about that when
Okay, you
she.
keep
Sorry,
hitting my class.
I didn't think about that when she was here.
Mhm.
I've been thinking about, okay, a camera looking at dirt for 40 days
not
is
gonna happen.
garbage. That's not going to work.
But
A
it
ca-
won't happen.
I get it, but I'm thinking about other options. Is what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
That's all.
There will be other
That's all
options
I'm saying.
because
Yeah.
that camera will not be going during the resting period.
Right.
So you
Yeah.
guys have to find a different camera.
Yeah.
To watch, not like off our channel. We'll have another option.
Yeah.
But that main, because that's the main camera. It's super popular. It's some people's homes.
Right.
You guys are being temporarily relocated.
Yeah. You got a
during
45-day vacation.
And I really don't think the option of stalls 1, 2, and 3, that's a really good option.
oh yeah, the one up
That's a
high.
nice, that's a nice camera. It's a great angle. You can watch all three. You can watch 3 moms. What we'll probably try to do is, nope, can't do that. Never mind. Scratch that. I didn't say it.
Say it anyways.
I wasn't.
You
Well,
can.
it's false. So I don't want
Okay,
to say something
hang
that's
on.
going to be false.
Fake news. Oh, you're not going to say it?
No.
Okay, she's not going to say it. She'll tell me later, maybe.
I don't want somebody to rehear. I don't want somebody to hear
I gotcha.
and
Yep.
think that that's what I meant,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then say it in chat later when they didn't hear the part where I was like, "We're not going to do this."
Okay,
So
we're
I
not
won't
going to
say
do
it.
what she was going to say, but we are
But
going
I'm
to show
not
you
gonna say
a
it.
picture of baby Quinn.
Oh, I was on. Yep.
Yep, Snow Baby.
Snow baby.
No, baby.
Do you know all of social media wanted us to name him Nemo because that was the name of the blizzard
Yeah, the
that
blizzard
hit, that
was
he was
Nemo.
born in?
Yep, Snow Baby. Snow Baby's in the car during that photo, waiting for us to plow the driveway.
Yeah, I was reading out.
Oh.
What?
Go
What?
back to that picture.
Uh-oh. There's your answer. Yes, her hair's down. For that
That's
person.
probably the last time my hair was done.
And yes, no fence.
No fence.
I answered
We didn't
that in the
even
video.
have the red barn.
Nope.
We didn't have goats.
No ghosts.
No go.
So, because somebody had
goats.
asked me, somebody
Yeah.
recently had asked me, well, did you have?
I asked you.
Oh, I see it.
And I was like,
see it
I
right
think
now.
I said,
Yeah,
I think we
yep.
did. And the answer is
Nope.
no, we
I-
didn't.
So I did my research.
we got goats.
The village has probably watched the snow stick video, and I came and asked you, and you almost gave away a secret in that video, and I was like, no, not yet, and they don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I had pregnancy hair in that picture. My hair is not that thick and beautiful anymore.
Yeah.
Just not.
And then we built the fencing later. That was the season later, I think.
So I was pregnant with Olivia when we planted that fence.
Oh, well, when we built the other fence,
The other
house up
side.
high side.
Right, but
Yeah.
Quinn was the one that was in
Yeah.
the carrier when we picked out Sadie and Lucy and Charlotte
Yeah.
and Wendy.
Yeah, you went way back. Sadie, Lucy, Charlotte, Wendy.
Because those were our first goats. So
Yeah.
that picture just told me we did not have goats when we had Quinn.
Right.
That means that February
Yeah.
2014,
Right.
whatever, I was pregnant with Olivia, but we had Quinn in a carrier.
Correct.
What does it carry me?
Like a car seat.
Like a car
An
seat.
infant carrying seat.
Like a little seat that the baby kids carried in.
Oh.
So random photo. I took this photo while shopping at the hardware store, the big box, either blue or orange. And you needed mums for the front porch.
Mhm.
The same mums that ended up in the pictures of the puppies. Did you get through all the emailed in questions? No. Okay, I'll go back.
I don't know.
I just really like this photo, but I had nowhere to put it, so I'm going to put it here. Look at that.
That is a nice picture.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lots of mums.
Lots of mums. Super pretty.
Just the colors came out so good in that photo.
Actually, I didn't tell you yet, but I
Oh,
want to go to
shut
that antique place and
Oh,
get
God.
one of those old antique vintage metal milk jugs
Okay.
for our friend. He says okay. He
Okay.
hasn't even heard how much they cost.
Yeah, they're a lot.
They're a lot.
Yeah.
I looked on Etsy. I was like, no, I'm just gonna pick out my own.
Yeah. What was the last question you answered? When will the retired moms move to House of Pie? Do
There
the
was- we
puppies
never-
forever home?
Puppy Forever Home.
You answered
Oh,
that?
I answered that one, and I answered Kim's question, and we did not get to Vicky's question.
Okay. So
And I have to find my
you
phone
got to find your
in
phone.
order
Again.
to. You know what, kid?
Yeah. Thanks, Quinn.
I-
Quinn, do you know where Mom's phone is?
It was under Stella.
It's not under Stella, and Piper's laying on the floor over there somewhere.
Got it.
You got it? All right.
I got it.
We're going to Kim's
All right,
question.
so everybody get your goat notebook.
Goat notebook.
Goat notebook. Vicky has asked us to go over the rundown of the girls who have been bred and what day were they successfully bred. Right. So, heat cycles. Let me open my notes. And we'll start at the beginning. Deandra and Evelyn started off breeding season on October 7th. They were both bred just that one day. If you want to add to your notes, I also have the temperature and the current weather conditions. Somebody's going to be like, why?
We track everything.
Track everything. Deandra was only bred once. But the next day she didn't want to go in, so we'll cross. Oh, that's just kidding. Just kidding. She was bred 4 times. Okay, so Deandra and Evelyn, October 7th. The next day we bred Greta, but we also bred her on the 8th, the 9th, the 15th, and the 16th. So we put down her day, I would put down for the 16th. That was the day I wrote down that she looks like she's in a beautiful standing heat. 80 was bred, let's say, on the 14th. Hold on, let me just stand. Yep, beautiful standing heat in the AM. So that was the 14th for 80. These were all October dates. Rainy was next. Let's say her day. I bred her on the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th. But her beautiful standing heat.
It got clogged by an apple.
Oh gosh.
Her beautiful standing heat was the 12th. And I was not there for the 13th, and you said you tried breeding her, but
Yep.
was not sure Yoshi did her job.
Yes.
Bred maybe once, big maybe was my note. So I would say her date was the 12th. By the 14th, she was definitely no longer Yoshi was no longer interested, and no breeding took place. Chanel was bred on the 13th and the 14th, and I said that the 13th was the more successful day, but she was bred at least once on the 14th, so we take the 14th as the last possible day that she could have been bred. Gia, she was bred on the 13th and the 14th. The 14th was the day that we're going to go and say she was the most successful. Grace was bred on the 13th and 14th. So my rule stands about the 14th. Harper was the 15th. And that was it. So
That's
that's
it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 9 of them.
There you go.
So at this point, if anybody comes back into heat, because that would put everybody right now. Let's see.
Who's the last one? Whoa. Harper?
Oh, Greta again.
Greta again?
Who's Greta was? Hold on, that doesn't make sense. Because in my notebook here, heat cycles.
Quinn, how you doing over there, buddy?
Almost.
Arm hurts? Yeah.
Oh, because, okay, so Harper
We're
was
getting
last.
close.
Your arm hurts.
Yeah.
We'll have to
You're gonna
calculate.
have to get some.
We'll have to calculate medicine time.
Greta was the 15th, 16th. So yeah, they were.
Hey, stop.
Harper and Greta are going to be bringing up the rear again this year.
On the 15th, 16th?
So we've got girls sitting at day 23 all the way down to day 14. So not everybody.
That's 15 days,
right.
right?
But here are the two that I'm looking at the closest. And that would be Rainey and Chanel. So Rainey and Chanel are sitting at day 17 and 16.
Right. So they're coming
I
up.
want to see whether or not they come back into heat because Yoshi was having so much difficulty breeding them because of his short stature.
Because he needed a steppy stool.
Steppy stool. Now, I will say, Angie brought over Mina and Coco to breed with Yoshi, and by the time he got to Coco, he needed no assistance, even though Coco's a very tall girl.
Yeah, she's pretty tall. He figured it out.
He did figure it out. All of the La Manchas were bred to Asher. All of the Togs were bred to Moose. All of the Alpines were bred to Yoshi. So Grayson, Giovanni, and Gus did not breed anybody.
They all got the year off. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Gus and Giovanni will never breed anybody.
They're not breeding.
So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. What about Gia? Was she bred? Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Oh my gosh, I'm yawning. Okay. Here we go.
To reiterate, Gia was bred on the 13th and 14th of October. With the 14th being what I classified as a beautiful standing heat. So,
you want to answer that question before I go into the next?
Allison asked, I know you said Gianna first came into heat during the last goat snuggles. Has she been back into heat? I never see signs apart from what I thought was a bit of tail flagging. Yeah, she absolutely has come back into heat. Some of it is tail flagging, but others of it, I mean, it's hard to tell because she's such a vocal girl that she does spend a lot of time knowing.
You're going to go to the bathroom and then go lay in bed?
Grab your bag of what's probably now melted ice. It's probably liquid. And see if Olivia or somebody can help
refill it.
Empty it and refill it with ice because you're not quite ready for your next rounds of meds.
I will text Tyler too.
But that'll help if your arm is
Quinn
hurting.
get ice.
And I don't remember what time
Okay.
I gave him this time.
I don't know either.
Well, sure.
Yes. All right. Next question. Oh, Livy scared
me.
Quinn.
Okay, so Bernice said the number of days pregnant.
So, 150.
Well, it depends on. I read that as a different day. Yeah, so they're pregnant for 150 days, and everybody's between 14 and 23 days pregnant if they're pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah. So you were mid.
We have about a week before I know for sure if anybody.
Right, but we're looking at mid-March for kidding season. We'll know after ultrasounds and all that and all.
Yeah, so I bred them all between like the 7th and the 15th
of
October. So that means it's the 7th to 15th of March.
Which still gives us plenty of time for them to raise their babies for 2 weeks, and April is ghost numbers. So all seems pretty good right now. Yeah. Right,
and like I said, if anybody comes back into heat at this point, like if a La Mancha or a Toggenburg come into heat, I probably will not breed them. Because that will help fix the whole where does Winnie go during kidding season.
Right.
Because we have the perfect number of kidding stalls right now.
Yeah.
But then where does Winnie go?
Right.
So if somebody comes back into heat, I'm not even going to try. Unless it's Rainey or Chanel.
Yeah.
Because of the whole Alpine situation.
Yes. Okay, next question. It's an interesting one.
You previewed these questions, right? Okay, so apparently there's a rumor going around that there's a new book coming out, and I will just say there is not.
Okay, I will. Fake news.
I am not writing. I am not currently writing a book.
Correct.
Not currently.
But let's talk about the Moo the Goat book somewhere around here. I don't have it, but that book was in our head for like 3 years before it ended up on paper.
There's ideas flying through my head, but I don't currently have the direction that I want to go through. Like, I don't have the details. we did, and I know where her suspicions are coming from because we worked on some illustrations of Winnie, Winston, and Yoshi. And they're just that. They're just illustrations of Winnie, Winston, and Yoshi. So, yeah. The moo book is above your head. It's right there.
Oh, yeah. There's one back there.
That one.
Yeah. So, hello there,
Hello,
Joe.
son.
Yes.
Does Winston
He just needs a bag of ice, and I
Yeah,
don't know if he
so-
he can't do it one-handed.
There's a bag in my room
It's a Ziploc
next to
bag.
my bed. It's probably full of water now on the ground. Just use it, empty it, dump it out,
Refill
and then
it.
refill it with some ice.
Yeah.
Make sure it's completely closed before you let Quinny put it on his cast.
Yeah, because it cannot get wet. Okay?
No.
No,
Don't.
because I don't want these two to jump
Because
around.
this one will be crazy.
Yeah.
You know she likes to bite
So
the
no.
babies.
We do not need that right now.
All right.
Anything else? All right, I'll get
Okay,
back
good.
to this.
Okay, so that's the book theory. Yeah. Okay, here we go. On to the next. You were just staring off into space, but really you were reading
I was
chat.
reading chat,
Yeah.
There was a follow-up with when will ultrasounds be done?
Oh, that's at around day 45, 50?
45 is, yeah.
Yeah, and you're at day 20 on some?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I would say probably around Thanksgiving.
yeah, we've noticed that if we go too early, they can't see anything. A little later is better than early.
A little later.
Yeah, a little later is better than early.
Ooh. Vicky, do you ever weigh the boys, and do you think Moose has taken the title from Amy as the biggest goat on the farm? No. No and no. So, do you ever weigh the boys? Yes, but only if they need some kind of like medication or supplement that requires us to weigh them,
Right.
and to get like a good dose. And do you think Amy has surpassed? I don't know. I don't think so.
No.
I mean, in his glory, Giovanni would have surpassed Amy.
Right.
Grayson, maybe,
Yeah.
but definitely not. Moose is actually smaller than Amy, bone-wise.
Oh yeah, Moose is
like,
small, physically smaller. He's just a mess. Like
He's not a mess.
that mess, like pee all over him.
He's hairy.
Yeah, he's hairy.
He's fluffy.
And he pees on himself, and then he rolls in the mud, and then it cakes on. And you're not going to give him a bath. You got to let Mother Nature take
No,
care
you
of
don't
it.
bathe the goat.
You don't bathe them.
No.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. When our baby goats poop all over themselves because they have like runny diarrhea, yeah, we'll spray their hind end down
Well,
and
use
clean
a
them
wipey
off.
first.
But I'm not giving
Yeah.
Moose.
So Moose just has a different structure
Yeah.
than Amy. Amy is a tank. Moose is a big boy, but he's
Yeah.
not very tall, and he's not as long.
Yeah.
He just has a completely different build.
Somebody in our village commented on a
Actually, he is
video.
tall.
They commented on a video the other day, and I saw the comment, and I was like, what video is this that they're commenting on? So I went back and looked, and it was when we brought Moose home. He was so little. He had a
Oh
little
God,
fluffy
he's
thing.
so cute.
I don't know, just to throw it out there. If I can find it quickly, I'll tell you. It's on the other. It's on this channel, I think, because
It's on the
so
live
old.
channel because it was
It was like Syman Says Saturday 54 or something weird like that. It was the one with Tyler drinking coffee in the thumbnail, and Liz steals the camera for the day, and she records. I don't. To be honest, I don't even think I'm in that video. I don't think I was home back then, but it was hilarious. I even went back and watched it, and I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I can't find it. I don't know who commented, but it was fun. You guys were talking about Moose, and I'm like, some of you would like to see it when Moose came home, and it was pretty funny. If I could find it, I'll post it out there somewhere.
yeah, so freaking cute.
Because it was cute seeing Moose coming home with this fluffy way before he got all messy Moose.
Yeah,
I don't
and
know
he's
where-
only messy this time of year, and then once like winter and spring roll around, he's totally cool again.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, he just gets messy for, a couple months.
Yeah,
All
as
right.
they all do.
There's another question.
Do Asher's parents have a name? And could or will it be passed down to babies? Asher doesn't really have what I would say a name. He's getting a little beard, And he's got a little poofy thing up here. Yeah, she did say Asher. No. I mean, beards are definitely one of those things that, like, are passed down generationally, like,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure what she's referring to as,
By
as
mane,
the
yeah.
mane, because I think
Could be that little line on the back of his
like the
back
mohawk?
that has like almost a mohawk to it.
Sure.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a normal
not,
goat
that's-
thing.
Yeah, normal.
It's funny because Coco actually has the mohawk going down her back.
Yeah.
And like Charlotte and Chanel definitely don't, but Grayson does. So
Yeah.
I think it's probably just one of those things.
Yeah.
Just like some goats have a beard and some goats don't.
Right.
That's definitely something passed down generationally because none of my Genevieve babies have beards.
True.
But yet Giovanni does have a beard, but none of her daughters have beards.
Yeah.
So.
Can
what are you looking at?
Can I write a book with the goats as my characters? Can I write a book? Meaning you want to write a book with the goats as your characters? You'll have to clarify what you mean by that. So I found it. If you guys want to jot it down and you got bored later and the goats are boring and there's nothing to watch on TV, it's Syman Says Farms number 46. That's the name of it. It's got Tyler trying to drink coffee in the thumbnail. This was 4 years ago. And Jessica was the commenter who commented on it. She's, I watched it a while ago, but wow, crazy to see all the changes that have happened in 4 years. Love seeing Poppy and Moo and the rest of the crew. But Moose is in it as a baby with his little poofy hair. It's hilarious. I was like, oh my God, that's Moose. I had to come show you. I was like,
it's got this little pompadour or
yeah.
whatever.
So it's
called.
46. It was a good.
So cute.
Yeah. And it's the whole reason we do what we do. That
it's crazy to look back and be like, where are we now?
Well, I just thought of it. Quinn's gonna be able to tell his kids when he gets older, hey, I broke my arm. Do you want to see the video? I haven't made the video yet, but it'll be the story of what happened when he was 9, and here's the picture of me laying in the hospital. Oh, that blanket was about, that was one of the goats that Grandma had. He could tell this story.
I'm not gonna be a grandma. I'm gonna be like a glamma or like a glamma.
Oh,
I'm not gonna be grandma.
Yeah, you're gonna come up with a different name.
Something. It can't be.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was
the
fun.
funny
Just
part is
thinking of
about that whole story. You said just now during this Q&A,
yeah,
that it was not the motorized scooter.
No, it wasn't.
This whole time in my head, I thought it was the motorized scooter.
Yeah, no.
This whole time.
Yeah. You just realized it wasn't the motorized?
Nobody had clarified it, so I had automatically assumed.
You weren't there when.
No, I wasn't there.
No, we were in the driveway. Yes, I'm scratching my head again. We were in the driveway. I don't remember who's we, but I think it was me, Rob, and your mom. We're in the driveway right here, and they were like, so what scooter did he do this on? I'm like, this one right here. I pick it up. A little blue metal Razor scooter, for $40 at Walmart.
And it was not the motor, because we
Not
have
the motorized.
We have the motorized ones, and he rides that one all the time.
Nope.
If he's not on his bike, he's on the motorized scooter.
He was not doing 40 miles an hour down the driveway. He was turning around and whoop, down he went.
That's what didn't make sense to me. I was like, I've been saying it from the moment as this happened. I was like, oh, and he had speed on his side too, because I thought he was maybe revving through the U-turn that he was making.
No.
He always said, I was making a U-turn and
Right.
I went down.
Right. And I don't have a oh, here we go. Okay, here's Quinn. Right? If you're riding a scooter and you got speed on your side, you're gonna fall and get road rash. If you're riding a scooter and you're barely moving and you're turning, you have 0 speed on your side, and you go down, all your body weight, and you put your arm down, try to stop yourself, and it pops. If he had speed on his side, he
doesn't drive it very often.
Exactly.
So I was like, oh, clearly it must have been the motorized one. Nope. Because to me, logically, it just made sense that he was going to fall easier on a motorized scooter than he did on just a regular scooter.
Yeah. Speed would have helped. It would have been road burn, rug rash,
Maybe just roll it
out, skid marks, whatever. It would have hurt, but it
wouldn't have been broken.
Wouldn't have been broken. The straight down to the pavement with no speed, just vertical drop.
That still doesn't make sense because he's just not that big. I don't know. It just didn't make.
Snapped it. Obviously.
Snapped it.
Snapped it. Yep. It just popped. Yep. Yeah. So in the end, he's gonna be all right. He'll be fine. It's just tough. Tylenol and Motrin is the only thing he's allowed to have on 2 broken bones. That's ridiculous. But I get it. Sort of.
They don't like giving kids narcotics and
right.
opioids. Like it's not.
I get it, but there's nothing in the middle of like Tylenol, Motrin, morphine. Like the kid had morphine at the hospital.
Lots of it.
But there's nothing in the middle. I didn't realize that. I mean, there's stuff for us, like when we go to the hospital, you know. But I guess meloxicam is a freaking medication. Our goats are on it, but humans go on it too.
You want to protect his liver.
Understood.
You know, like you just
100%.
He's only 9, and it's just like with the goats. Like if he's in a little pain, guess what that does?
It slows him down.
Slows him down. Keeps him from doing anything stupid.
Yep. All right.
So I don't think I ever really went over Winnie's blood work.
No, you didn't. And there's only 3 questions left.
Yeah. So I have no information about fecals. That I dropped off at Tufts on Friday, and I have not heard back. So I'll call them on Monday if they don't call me, because usually they're pretty good about calling me. As far as Winnie's blood work goes, her red blood cells are in completely normal range now, and her phosphate levels are completely normal range now. So that's great. There's some other levels that we're looking at that are not in normal range now. And I don't know if Tufts ever ran those. I would assume they did because it's part of the CBC. But they're not in normal range. And Dr. Lindsay is not willing to speculate on anything right now because she doesn't have anything to compare those levels to. So we don't know if they're on their way up or if they're on their way down. So we're not going to speculate on what's going on there. So again, when I hear from Tufts, I will just ask them like, hey, what about these levels? What were they back 2 weeks ago? If they have that information, and compare it to what they are today or on Friday, and see where do we go from here. One of the things that Dr. Lindsay said was like, I'm not too concerned about him because she looks fantastic. She's gained. Well, I didn't weigh her yesterday or today, but since she's come home from Tufts, she's gained about 5 pounds, closer to almost 6 pounds.
Right. So the only thing keeping her out of the herd right now is the results of the fecal.
Yep.
As soon as we hear that, like, yeah, she's clean, she's not shedding, like she's.
But
good.
I want to figure out this new blood levels.
Correct. Yeah.
Because
I get that. Yep.
if she's going to need treatment, and if stress is going to make those levels worse, I don't want to do that. So.
Right.
I want to make sure those levels have those little hairs on the back of my neck standing up, and I'm just trying to follow Dr. Lindsay's like, let's not jump to conclusions. Let's see what Tufts says. And I'm sitting here like, okay, I'll try not to panic.
Yeah.
Try not to panic. She did say the next day, because I texted her back, I was like, sorry, I must have fallen in a hole, or my son broke his arm and I couldn't get back to you. Because
it was one of the two. I don't remember which one.
We were texting back and forth in the part,
when we called you.
When you guys called, and she did end up saying that one of her levels, which is the one that we worry about the most, I'm not going to say anything other than the level that would say we're in big trouble with this certain, these other, the value that we care most about, if she's going to have an issue with something else going on, that value is at the highest range of normal. Okay. So if the highest, if the range is between like 17 and 59, she's at 59. Right. So that means it's high, but it's still
it's like getting normal. A cholesterol test, and they're like, look, you're in the normal range, but you're high. Let's keep an eye on this.
So that's,
right. Yeah,
of all of the values that will point to trouble for this specific issue, that's the one that, if that one's normal, that's the one we really care about. The other ones, that's questionable. Like, we don't know why they're so high, but if this one is okay, then that's the one that really matters.
Right. So it's like, again, it's not cholesterol. Let's just clarify that.
Right.
But when I did my cholesterol test that all you guys were all concerned about when my brother jumped on here and scolded me live on the Q&A, I just noticed you're on Top Chat only and not live. You're
It doesn't change anything.
It does a little bit.
Hey, look, it didn't change.
Okay, thank you. When I did my cholesterol, they're like, yeah, that one, you got all the different ones, HDL or whatever. Some are
Right.
way more important than others.
Mhm.
They're like, that one you really can't change. That's family history. But this one, stop eating like crap. Like, so it's the same concept. You've got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the most important one. The values are, like I said, they were on the high range of normal.
Oh, these are the
But-
same question.
The issue is the other levels were just exponentially higher than they should have been. Like if 59 is the high range of normal, she was over 300 or 400.
Right.
So that's what got me nervous. And Dr. Lindsay's like, I'm not going to comment about anything and say anything. And she's not going to comment or say anything. She usually always runs to the worst case scenario. That's what our vets do.
Which is good. They prepare for the worst.
Right. But the fact that she didn't want to say anything, I was like,
Yeah, and right now, no more meds for Winnie. Because remember, the meds we were giving her was to fix,
phosphate,
which, by the way, phosphate and
phosphorus are the same thing.
Just in my video where I corrected myself like 8 times.
Mhm.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, so I
she don't need that
I don't
anymore.
want to give her any more because she's in the normal range.
Right.
And then her red blood cells are in the normal range.
And it's just less poking, prodding, whatever, even though it was
less fuss.
less fuss. Yeah.
Less fuss.
Yep.
She doesn't need it.
Yep, here you go.
How can you tell the difference between regular tail wagging, like of a goat, like if they were brushing away a fly or something, versus tail wagging like they're in heat? So the flagging versus wagging.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a tough one.
it is. It's
Sometimes when it's just a fly, their tail is down, but they're flagging it down. When they're in heat, their tail is up and they are flagging like, hey.
and all the time. And you don't see any flies around.
Right. It's also usually associated with other things like chatting.
Right, you put it all together.
Their vulva will look swollen and
That's called a
pink,
poochie coochie.
Coochie coochie. Sometimes it's got a little mucus.
There's a video for that.
So generally speaking, the flagging isn't going to be the only thing you see. But it's like, yeah, you definitely can tell.
Right.
You can tell.
Yep. And one last question that came in a while ago.
Oh, just wondering if you're planning on having stocking hats for the winter this year.
Probably not. It's a little late. All of our new products.
It's not late, but
It's not late, but we might, because I've thought of it too. It'd have to be embroidered, and unfortunately, embroidery cost us a fortune, which makes the products to you guys way more because embroidering is difficult. But it's something I've requested too, for when I'm like snow blowing the driveway or whatever. Some just hat with like Syman
some
Says.
kind of like.
Or maybe even as simple as this with the SSF on a stocking cap kind of thing, or that logo, the goat one. I don't know. We've thought about it. It's definitely in the pipeline, but I don't know if it'll make it out this year. Because you all know that launches. It's QVC time. I'm just kidding.
Carol had asked way earlier. I saw it go by a couple times. She asked something about like, are you anxious or nervous about this launch?
Both.
I am always like the time leading up to these launches. It's like, okay, made everything, we got it all done, and then you sit back and you're like, well, is anybody gonna want it? Like, or did we just do all of this and y'all are over it? Y'all are like,
I
don't need
soap,
any more
right.
soap. Like,
Right.
that's cute, but no, I'm gonna do something else this year.
Yeah, we think about that all the time.
Every time I get nervous, like even like as I'm making stuff, or even like I'm already moving. A couple weeks ago, I allowed myself for the first time to think about something other than Christmas, and so I've been thinking about Valentine's Day, and I've got some new stuff that just came in today that I can start playing with, and I always worry. I'm like, is anybody gonna like care? I could go through all of this and nobody wants to buy it. So yeah, there's a ton of anxiety and a ton of nerves that come leading up to a launch. Not just like, are you guys even going to care and buy it, but is everything going to work? Like, is the website going to crash? Is everything behind the scenes that I spend hours putting together, like all the bundles, are they going to sync? Is it going to track inventory correctly? Is something going to crash? And I do. I worry about it all.
We worry about all of it.
All of it.
Yep.
So yeah, this is everything that I've been working on since June.
Yeah, we started in June. We're still technically not even done. Hi, Piper.
Happy.
We still have more to do, but we'll be fine. Definitely super excited about it. Oh, join our email list. I've already have. But one thing I wanted to mention. Stop barking at me. What are you barking at?
Brat.
Can you call her over there?
Yes,
Maybe without tripping over wires?
Come here,
Piper?
Pete. What's going on?
She's probably gotta go pee.
She's trying to do the puppies.
I didn't bring one up, but just like the poop emoji, not the packaging on the lump of coal. Sorry, super cute, right?
Yeah.
She outdid herself with the packaging on the Grinch soap. By the way, it's probably one of the largest packages we have. I think the box that this comes in is like it's like 9 inches by 5 inches by like 2 inches thick. It's all padded so it doesn't get ruined. But the label itself has the option for you to write on who it's from, who it's to. It's a cute little ready to go.
I figured a lot of
It was
people were
super
going to
cute.
be gifting these.
Oh, and by the way, I did grab one. I forgot that cardboard box right there.
So I figured a
Hang
lot
on.
of people were going to be gifting stuff this year. I mean,
I literally said to myself, like, wait a second, can you get it without spilling Quinn's soda?
Yeah.
I was like, I did grab a QVC box. Home
This
Shopping
is-
Network for
this
those
is
that
his
don't know.
shameless plug.
This is
now.
my shameless plug time. So if you
Makes
don't
me
care,
uncomfortable.
you could leave. But
To answer your question, though, it's November 1st at noon. I'm not staying up to midnight.
see, look at that.
That's
We'll
the Grinch
go to
soap.
3. We'll go to 3, right? It's just a cute white box, to and from, and it says, "You're a mean one, Grinch."
Mr.
Right?
Grinch.
Mr. Grinch, and the Grinch wraps around the side of the box to the barcode. Like, just super cute packaging on that one. Right, Stella?
I know,
called you
she's like,
Piper.
you disturbed
You
my
like
nap.
that? Yep. And this is the holiday duo pack. It's 2 soaps in one little box. We'll go fast for those that don't care. This is the poop emoji. Poop.
It's called reindeer poop.
It's reindeer poop. It's a bunch of poop emojis.
If you're gonna say it, you gotta say
Yeah.
it right, because somebody's gonna look for poop emojis.
This is the candy cane,
Yeah,
right?
I just saw that on the website.
which would be a bar of soap about this size.
So the Grinch, no,
Actually big- no.
no.
More like this size, right?
Oh, good lord.
Up there in this mold.
Yes, it's that
Yeah,
mold.
in this
so
mold.
the Grinch soap is that mold, and the candy cane soap is that mold. But the Grinch soap has the added icing and
The hat and stuff.
the hat. So it's actually a very tall bar soap.
Yeah,
Rose
very.
gold. Like, can we talk about rose gold for a second?
Rose
I was
gold.
actually very upset about this one. Let's take it out of the box though.
Oh, you want me to?
Yeah,
Okay.
so if
Well-
you've been around for a while, I posted something on my Instagram or Facebook or both several months ago of rose gold.
This one smells amazing.
It smells amazing. That I'm very happy about.
I'm gonna get gold glitter all over me.
What I'm not happy about is that this soap was supposed to have 24 karat gold leaf on the soap. It does not have and the glitter does not. You cannot do this bar justice on camera. It is an in-person type of soap because you can't get the glisten of the gold on camera.
Yeah.
It's totally different in person. But it was supposed to be gold leaf, like little specks of gold leaf. And during R&D, I put the gold leaf on it. It looked gorgeous. There's a photo of it on Instagram. It is perfect. It was perfection. Until I went to go make the real bar of soap, probably a month later, because I started with some other soaps. And then I went to go look at it, and all of the gold had like slid off
It like oxidized.
and oxidized and was green.
Yeah, it turned, and it's real gold.
And
leaf.
it's supposed to be real gold leaf. So I was really upset. I must have had some chemical reaction
Yeah.
with some I definitely put the gold leaf on before it was completely done saponification process. So maybe that's why it happened, but I wasn't willing to make a whole run of rose gold, then gold leaf it all, just to find out that we were going to have this problem throughout, dozens and dozens and dozens of bars.
So then we
So-
go into the Christmas salt bundle, right? Now it could show up in
So
red.
somebody said we
or
should have
white.
made goat poop. The reindeer poop is our seasonal gift. Reindeer poop. It will be kind of continuing as goat poop.
Right, and probably
with a different label. It won't be so Christmassy, but it will be something that we'll add to our lineup for like that kind of unique gift all year long.
Yeah.
And it'll like we've got a lot of kids that shop in the store during goat snuggles, and it just makes a cute.
Right.
You know, if a kid is going to use this soap.
What scent is this?
So that's actually a chocolate orange. Like, you know those
So
chocolate
it'd be the same.
chocolate orange candies that you have around Christmas time? They come wrapped in orange tin foil, and they're orange slices, but they're chocolate and they taste like orange too. It's the same. It's a custom blend that we did here, and it's chocolate orange.
So it'll stay the same scent when we move it to goat poop. The label will just change, and the
it'll be
paper
less
in the back
Christmassy.
won't be red. It will
Less
pick a different color.
Yeah.
This is just to show you when you order any bundles, they are gift ready. They have a tag on them. They'll have like, this is the lotion. This is the fall set of 3 lotions. So when you get them and you want to give it to somebody, you could write on the back, like, we're trying to take away all your like, I would suck at QVC, by the way. Even though I talk for a living.
Well, so we've got, so this was the
I just grabbed the fall
collection.
one.
So we have a winter collection, a holiday collection, and the naughty list ultimate bundle. I didn't mean collection. Actually, I did one of those too.
You did.
But yeah, the bundle, the Christmas bundle
Right
this
there.
year is the naughty list.
You can see all of them right there.
Yep. So it comes with like our top 3 naughty inspired, lotion, soaps, and bath salts.
But what we don't do from a business standpoint, for those of you that care about the back end of the business, you have that picture and that picture only. You don't know, unless you read the description, that it is gift ready. Because we don't take a picture of just a brown bag with a tag on it, because when we're designing and building the website and taking these photos, the tags aren't even here yet. So it's like, we just wanted to share that with a lot of you 500 people that are here.
Sometimes I have to fake
Right.
product pictures because we didn't actually make the lotion yet, so it's just an empty bottle of lotion
Yep.
with the label on it.
Yep.
Sometimes it has water in
that
it too,
happens.
just for weight purposes.
Did you know that the milk in cereal and some cereal commercials is actually Elmer's glue?
Yes.
Because they could
Because
put
it's
it
too watery.
they could put it wherever they want and it doesn't glare off the lights. That's right. Yeah, there's a lot of weird
There's
stuff.
a lot of weird
They-
production and photography things
Yeah.
that people do.
When they pour maple syrup on pancakes in a commercial, it's motor oil, not maple syrup.
Yeah. The Big Macs, like like the toothpicks and most of the lettuce and the tomatoes aren't even real.
Right. Yeah. There's a company out there I've watched. They
It's
have
all
$1
fake
million
food.
cameras. Like
It's all fake food.
It's insane how they
Which
do
is why when you get it, the Big Mac is like half the size of what it looks like on TV.
Right. Yeah. So that's kind of gives you a little bit of that. One thing we did from a villager request when we sent out
Somebody had a great idea. I'm following it. It's going to happen, and it's going to work.
This kind of goes back and forth of, yes, we're still a small company. There's like 5 of us that help package and put all this stuff
I
together.
would pay one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of them's on payroll. The other 2 are on I Want to Pet Goats and I'm Bored at Home payroll.
Yeah.
So that they come out and they're just awesome people and they help us out. With that said, some of our stuff looks like, wow, this is super professional, and other stuff looks like homemade. This one's going down the homemade route because we had to plastic wrap them.
Well, okay.
So we had the plastic.
So
if you could see the plastic wrap in there to hold the macarons down, so in shipping, they don't move at all.
So what
now.
we learned, and I think this is an important part of any business, is sometimes you have the best ideas, but the execution it didn't work.
Yeah.
So we did get a lot of feedback that the rose macarons did not ship well, despite us thinking that they were going to, because we tested this in the lab.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we throw things around to see what will happen.
I literally would throw it and be like, "How's UPS or USPS going to mess this up?" Well, let's throw it across the room.
Come on, it's stuck. Okay.
Well, no, it's stuck because you.
Oh,
air
no
vacuumed
air.
it.
She's so smart.
Big brain.
It's a vacuum problem. Okay, still.
So a lot of them came smudged, and the roses fell off, and it was really unfortunate. And
I'm done.
Yeah. So we sent out a bunch of new lids, and that way they're still gift ready. But one nice villager sent an idea. She goes, hey, not sure if you're going to read this, but if you put some saran wrap, and she even demonstrated with pictures and everything, and she took our rose macarons and sent us pictures of the saran wrap, and she's like, if you just saran wrap it and tuck it underneath and then put your lid on,
You
it would
saran wrapped
be-
it, tucked all the saran wrap underneath,
yep, as best we could to
As
make it
best we
still
can.
look really cute and pretty.
and now they don't move at all. Like
Yep, they don't move
They
at
don't
all.
go anywhere.
So I think they're going to ship way better. I think the Yoshi soaps are the ones that I just don't think people are going to buy as much as I think they're going to.
Yeah, I don't think
That's
the Yoshi
one-
is going to be as popular as the Rose.
That's the one where I'm like, I should have just made more rose ones. But the rose ones were a pain in the butt to make, and the Yoshi ones were still
half a pain in the butt.
still hard to make, still labor intensive. But the fragrance, what a lot of people don't realize is how hard or how finicky fragrances are in soaps. And floral fragrances are the hardest ones to use because the batter does not stay fluid for as long.
Yeah.
So with the rose soap, we had to make them in such like micro batches before the batter just became unworkable for what we wanted to do with it. So the Yoshi one, because it's made of buttercream, because of course he's like the sweetest little boy ever, I smelled the buttercream fragrance and I'm like, that's Yoshi. I need to make something with it. And I actually test batched a couple different versions of Yoshi soap before finally I had like this eureka moment of
It's okay. You're good.
make him a cookie.
Yeah, a Yoshi.
Make him a cookie.
Yeah, and we already had the molds for the macarons,
Well, 'cause
so we just went with it.
The other issue with fragrances is not only can the fragrance mess
Oh, gosh.
with
She's coming
yep,
back.
she is. Come on. Not only does the fragrance
Come on.
mess with the batter's ability to stay fluid, it also can mess with the color.
Come on up.
She doesn't want to. She wants to play.
She wants to play. It's not playtime.
The fragrance can also mess with the ultimate color of the soap at the end of curing. So fragrance can discolor your soap to like brown, tan, beige, yellow.
Sorry, gotta move all this inventory before the dog ruins it.
Yep. Yeah. So the Yoshi fragrance discolors
Piper, come here. Come with me. Come on, Piper.
discolors the soap to dark chocolate brown. So I had to work with something. I had to make something that was going to be dark chocolate brown at the end of the process. So Yoshi cookies. That's why they're brown. If Yoshi soap sells out, will it come back? I don't think so. I don't know. Is Dolce fragrance the same as warm vanilla sugar? No, it is not. Vanilla Dolce is a blend of Dolce de Leche and warm vanilla sugar. So it's got a caramel, warm vanilla goodness. Kind of smelled like Dolce when she was little. Let's see. What scent is the Grinch soap? Grinch soap is red currant. There's a description under every product on our website that will tell you the top notes, the mid notes, and the bottom notes, or just like what is, what are the fragrance profile of that specific soap. Oh my heavens. Oh Lord, give me that little baby.
I want this one. No, you gotta give it to Mom. And then make that seat for
Oh,
Libby.
my baby
Huh?
girl.
The seat for Libby. Help her
Scooch
out.
back because now we're
And then-
all out of focus.
It'll fix.
Hopefully.
Focus will come
on,
back.
Focus.
Come on, focus.
Hello,
Focus.
focus.
Hopefully.
It didn't actually focus on your hand.
Oh.
You guys,
Come on. The camera's not focusing. Come on.
it didn't focus. You can't do your little trick if you don't.
I know, it should focus already.
Come on.
Come on, Beans. Relax. Ugh. There. Maybe you fixed it. I don't know.
You have the power. I don't have the
No,
power.
she didn't have the power. It failed. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think that's going.
No,
Come on. Why is it not focusing?
I don't know.
What should I? Can I do anything?
Yeah, no. Hang on, hold. This is what we can do. Go to camera 3. Beans, just talk to them.
Oh, your ear's inside out.
I I saw that one with Maxwell.
Max's ear was inside out
Yeah.
too.
And Shine.
It's because you all walked in front of
I know.
the camera.
Hello, focus.
It
Now
is-
it's focused on me.
Right, but it won't focus backwards.
Okay, take this one too. Now you got two of them. Oh man, what
if
happened?
you're peeing on me right now, how could you- oh, it's back! It's
Wait,
back!
it's back.
Don't touch it!
Back! Don't touch it.
Sit on her.
Baby, there's a Stella on me. Okay, it's back. We are back.
It was
Okay.
perfect. It was perfect. Now we're still blurry.
Okay, so just give it a minute. It might work eventually. Somebody asked something, and I don't know what they just asked. Is there any plans of keeping rose gold soap?
What do you mean
Well,
keeping?
keeping as in
Oh, like forever?
the new one you just saw with the spots on it. That one will be here during the holidays. I don't know how
What?
long.
What are you talking
I
about? Rose
don't-
gold, the one with the
Rose-
spots. We don't have spots on rose
What are
gold.
we
It's glitter.
Glitter, the spots on it, the glitter. Yeah.
That's not
Okay, sorry.
spots.
Sorry, I was trying to focus on this one, trying to run away. Yeah, this is what we call Q&A. Okay,
Don't go anywhere because they're gonna need a trip back down.
very soon.
Why is he
Oh,
doing
what
his
is he
thing?
doing? Maybe because I woke him up and brought him up here.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we only have so many hands for Java and Maxwell. Won't. I mean, they'll fit up here, but
Yeah.
they're a handful.
They are. Handful.
Bless you.
What are you doing,
Bless
buddy?
you. He's doing that same reverse sneeze.
He's snort. Yeah.
What happened? Who's a good man? Who's a good boy? Mr. Reed.
Okay, back to the people watching.
Mm.
Yes. The people watching.
But he gives the best kisses ever.
Yes. Say hello.
Say hi, Chai.
Say
Hi, Chai. Stella's like, ugh.
Oh, what?
Oh,
What was
that
that?
big yawn. Oh, no.
Oh, buddy.
Why was that?
Oh, buddy. Come with me.
Why was that?
I don't know. Here, you take him.
Okay.
You come with me. Okay? Right, buddy? What happened? What time is it?
I don't know.
What
She
time? Let's
doesn't-
watch this on
She
camera.
doesn't want to stay here either.
All right, I'll take
she
her
never
too.
wants to stay with me.
Okay.
She's so roachy. Here, you take her.
You take her, I'll take her, and you had a question of him about Swanky Fire somewhere. You had a question. Okay, bye-bye.
I don't know, but it went by. So I'm gonna start with the first question that I
Yeah,
see.
go for it.
Will the store be open Thanksgiving weekend and you both be out working so I can meet you?
Yes.
Yeah. We're the only ones that run the store.
Yeah. Tyler will be here.
The
Black
family.
Friday, the family.
Not like we have employees that run the store other than you. So yeah, Black Friday actually is when we'll be opening that Friday. The sales there, we start at 10. I want to say we go to like 4 or 5. And that goes, the sales, in-store sales go from 10 a.m. to noon. So if you want to do doorbuster sales, bundle buster sales, that all starts at 10 a.m. What does Stella think of the puppies? She likes playing with them, but she's very cautious. She's like, I don't know, but she does have fun with them. So it is fun to see them. And Piper is very accepting of Stella playing with her puppies and being around her puppies now, which is good because in the beginning she was like, I don't want anything to do with the puppies. Piper didn't want Stella to have anything to do with the puppy. She was super protective. So it's good to see that Piper has kind of changed her tune about that. Since, Chai's going to be staying and everything. Aaron, can you confirm that you will have Swanky Hot for November 1st? Yeah. Swanky Hot, Swanky Mild, and Fire will all be available November 1st. Now, the Fire, since there's super limited number of bottles, we'll have more than what we had back when it was first launched, but, not much more. So it's just a very limited, we make that in very, very limited batches, where like Swanky sauce we can make, or we have to make 1,000 cases of each, so that's 12 times, or right, 6 to a case times 1,000. So we have a lot of Swanky sauce. And so we pretty much always have it. But the Swanky Fire is super small, limited batches. Make very small batches of that.
I was going to say with that fire question,
Yeah.
more than 50, less than 100.
Yeah.
So how many more bottles
Once
are
it gets
coming in?
down below a certain inventory, we actually turn on how many we have left.
Oh, you can do that for that one for me?
Yes, I
Thank
can.
you.
Oh, you did it
Oh, my
again.
God.
Every time you come in. Oh, it
That
fixed
was
itself real fast this time.
Good.
Okay. So Hazel has met the puppies. She's terrified of them. She doesn't. She thinks
She's not a fan.
Piper rules this house. Let's
Yeah.
be real. Piper is the alpha, and Hazel is not. So Hazel is terrified of Piper.
Yeah.
She did get a little like momzilla while she
Oh,
was
yeah.
pregnant
Totally
and just
did.
after she had the babies. So everybody's afraid of Piper. But now she wants to be the fun mom, and yeah. Piper wised up to babysitter with Stella.
Yeah. So you talk about fire.
I did talk about fire.
So just to put it out there, keep
Yeah.
your eyes peeled. We don't know when, but eventually the labeling on mild and hot are going to change to closely match the fire.
Yeah, I'm
To
working on it.
Get more of a cohesive brand type look to the sauce, because that label looks way better than our other ones. I mean, it's different. I like our other ones. I've always really liked it, but it's time for an
The
upgrade.
Swanky label is the only label in our entire lineup that I did not design.
I understand.
And not that they're saying anything about like, oh, well, I need to design it, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not it.
Right.
It's more like I didn't really get the creative participation allowance in the creation of the Swanky label. Like whenever you're working with an artist, you hope and pray that they'll see your vision, and they did not.
Yeah.
In this case. So I feel like with the Swanky, because it was like our very first product we've ever done, I couldn't fight for it. Like I
Right.
could, and I didn't have the know-how to just do it myself, but I really just wanted to do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't come out the way I wanted it. It's fine. It's worked. It's just not what my personal preference is. So
There's
We're
a lot
working.
of things. This is where I scratch my head, because there's a lot of things in that Swanky label that were done by design to help the bottle stand out on a retail shelf when you're competing against 27 different barbecue sauces and you're just one. We were trying to break the rules, but because now, fast forward 8 years later, we don't really care about retail. We're in one retail chain, and that's it. Other than that, we're website and our little store. So we could do whatever we want with the label now. And that's why I'm like, yeah, fine, change it.
Well, and here's the other thing is what I've learned over the last probably 8 years since working with labels and product design, like the label design, is that while I have absolutely zero professional training, like educate, I didn't go to marketing school, I didn't go to
Right.
art school. I have learned to just trust what looks good to me works.
Yes.
Like that's kind of what we've gotten so many compliments on all of our labeling that I'm like, then I just need to trust my eye. I clearly have a good eye for it, and I'm just going to go with it. And I just don't like the Swanky label. So it's time.
Right.
It's time. Okay,
Hang
so
on.
then
I saw this, but I don't know.
that's where I was going.
Yep.
Will all the Christmas products be available at your store? I cannot guarantee that by the time Black Friday rolls around that we are going to have all of
Yes,
our...
Quinn. What do you mean what happened? The puppies are crying? Well, they fight all the
Oh.
time. They're puppy fighting. They're playing. I got Tyler down there watching them. The puppies are good, Quinn. Okay. Bye. That was Quinn checking on me, making
They
sure the
play
puppies.
really loud.
They do play very loud.
Yeah.
Yep. Let me
And
just
sometimes
text
it can
Tyler.
sound a little excessive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't guarantee. I can tell you probably for sure we're going to be sold out of some stuff by the time Black Friday rolls around, because everything that we're launching for Christmas is launching November 1st.
Right.
That's done by a couple reasons. Mostly because during COVID we learned that USPS cannot guarantee our priority shipping times, even though we pay for priority mail.
Most priority mail.
They just can't deliver on that during the holiday season. So we want to make sure that our international customers, so Canada and UK and Australia, they have the time to get everything to them before Christmas. So if we start on Black Friday, where the volume now is just exponentially higher, now we're competing with all the other retailers.
Right.
So we try to give those extra 3.5 weeks to you guys, so that you guys can get your stuff and hopefully beat the
Right.
rush.
Plus,
The volume.
historically speaking, it would not make good business sense for us to hold back inventory. Don't let the internet world buy it. Hold it for the store, which has shown not to be busy. We've sat there for hours and we opened to the public Black Friday that weekend and every weekend up until Christmas, more as a courtesy for locals that may want to come see goats. We're not doing goat snuggles, but you can go out in the patio and see them or whatever, buy a couple things. But we've sat there for hours and have no customers, to the point where we thought about not doing it. So we have to let the internet world buy it, and then whatever is available go in the store. Now, with that said, there are some secret treasures for some store shoppers.
Right. There's
Like
stuff,
we have 5 packets of English rose macaroons left. Those will be in the stores. They're not going to put just 5 on the internet.
Fake news.
Fake news. They're weird, right?
No, I do have some English rose macarons that will be launched on November 1st. These we found. I don't know if it's because sometimes I put buffers on my inventory. So while I'll have, say, 100 of something, I only tell the computer that I have 95, just in case. Sometimes if you guys buy so fast, sometimes the system will allow 2 people to buy something that I only have 1 of, because it just doesn't update as fast as you guys are buying. That's a great problem to have, but I have to prepare for that. So I plug in 5 less of what of my items. And so I found some. I also have extra, because the rose macarons come in the light pink and the dark pink. I had extra dark pink, but no light pink. So there's some in the store that I've held back that are just dark pink, so that I have some for the store, but they don't match the picture on the website. But the people shopping in the store generally don't care, because they didn't previously see a picture of what it should look like.
Right.
Same thing goes for, we have what we call bonus bars in the store, and they are literally bonus soap batter that I just threw into a mold while making other things. So all of the bubble soaps that you guys know about, we had the spring ones, we had the summer ones. I have what I call bonus bars of those. So I threw each color into a massage bar mold, the scrubby ones, like with the little teats. They look like cow udders. So I have ombre colored, like pinks, the pink bar, the pink, the purple, and the yellow bar that were launched in the bubble soap form for spring. I have bonus bars of those in the store. So there's just some stuff that I have laying around,
Right. Yeah.
that I don't have enough to put on the website, but it makes for a nice little scavenger hunt in the store of like, what's not on the website here?
Right. Somebody asked, will the buy 2 get 1 free for travel size lotion work? Yes, it'll actually work for all 3 sizes. The tiny travel size, the regular 8 ounce, and the new big jumbo size. It will technically work for all of them. Now,
Keep in mind,
it's buy 2, get 1 free, just like anything, the free item's going to be the least expensive.
Right.
So
if you buy 2 of the new 32 ounce
and 1 8
and 1 8 ounce, or 1 travel will be free, or
Right.
the 8 ounce will be free, but you'll pay for the 232s. So
right.
it really is in your best interest to get the 232s and
A third
a
32.
third 32
So, I
for
mean,
free.
or 3 8-ounces,
Or
whatever.
whatever.
But it'll work.
But if you know you want, 3 travels
Then
and
just
3
throw
8
3.
ounces, then
Right.
the sale.
So in her theory right there, 3 8-ouncers and 3 travels, you're going to get one of each for free because we allowed the discount to stack, meaning.
Are you sure though? Because they
Yes.
won't take the 3. Hold on.
Oh,
'cause if
you're
it's-
right.
They'll
You're
give
right.
you the 2.
It'll give you 2 travels for free.
Yeah.
Right. So if you did that 3, it'll give you it'll give you 2 travels for free.
Yeah.
Good point, because it'll take 2.
Because it's the lesser.
You're the lesser.
That's just how the sales.
And the way
So-
the sale works, this was confusing last year a little bit. We have the one, buy any premium bar of soap and get a Simple Suds for free. So if you go to your cart with 2 premium bars to your cart and a t-shirt and a whatever and a lotion, and you check out, and then a day later you're like, or a week later, I never got my Simple Suds for free. Well, that's because you didn't put 2 Simple Suds in your cart. You have to tell us what 2 Simple Suds you want for free. We have no way of just throwing a Simple Suds in the box like, oh, they bought a premium, give them whatever we want to give you. You have to pick it. So if you know,
if there's any sales that are buy this, get this free, you have to put the this free in your cart, and the cart will automatically take that item off.
Except for the week of spend $100 or the day or whatever it is. I think it's a whole week. Spend $100 and get a free Moo Stuffy.
I said you have to put it in your cart.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
To for that.
Why?
Okay, you might have to for
You
that.
have to.
The only reason I think they wouldn't have to for that one is because they're only one SKU. The computer is smart enough to know you spent $100, you get this because it's
No,
only
it's
one
not.
SKU. No, okay, put it in your
You
cart.
have to put everything in.
Put everything in your cart.
And then check your cart before you're done.
Yeah.
Right, to make sure all your stuff has been discounted and everything, because glitches happen, and
Right.
the only way we know about them is if you guys text us. Don't text us, actually. Use the live chat on our website.
Yeah.
Are you planning on breeding Piper again or breed Chai in the future? The answer to both of those questions is yes. As of right now, I have no issues with breeding Piper again. She had a difficult pregnancy, like with her morning sickness and everything. Ultimately, she ended up, being able to not maintain her weight, but she gained weight. She grew healthy puppies. She did great nursing. She did great as a mom. Pregnancy is hard. Inherently, it's hard. So we are better able to kind of help her through that morning sickness since we've been through it. We know the tricks. We know what worked. We know what didn't work. And I am willing to try breeding. I'm willing to do this again with Piper. As far as Chai goes, we have some things that we have to go and make sure that she's good to go before I can commit fully that we will breed Chai, just like we went down the same health checks and exams and whatnot with Piper. We'll do the same thing with Chai before really saying, okay, she's going to be bred. And then there's a possibility. I want to make sure if we breed Piper, it's not going to be for about 2 years from now. So Chai would be bred first. And then there's a possibility of a third puppy coming home. But we don't know yet because they were just born. So I said it quiet. Maybe they didn't
Yeah,
hear
we're
me.
not talking about that.
Maybe they didn't hear me.
Is there a safe way to cut the bubble bar without ruining them? I want the peach one, but the bubble bars are just too big for me to handle.
You can cut them with any kind of butcher knife.
Yeah, that's the
But
easiest
it's
way.
hard
Be
because
careful.
you be really careful.
Yeah.
But it's hard, and you kind of cut them right between the bubbles.
Yeah.
It's hard because
They're hard by the time you get to.
Yeah, it's been curing for a long time, so it is a harder bar. But it also will stick to the blade, so you just have to kind of slide and twist at the same time to get the soap unstuck from the blade of the knife.
Yeah.
So it's really dangerous, but it can be done.
Right.
If you have like a wired cheese cutter,
That might work.
I would do that, but again, the soap is going to be pretty hard.
Yeah.
So it might.
Yeah,
break.
we have to cut all our soap within the first 72 hours.
Yeah.
48 sometimes because we want to get to it before it starts hardening.
Right.
Yeah.
So something about Christmas lights.
Yes, I saw that right here.
Yes, it is coming, and it's going to change though.
Yeah, it's going to be different this year, but it's starting on Black Friday.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Black Friday or Christmas night? I mean,
No.
Thanksgiving night.
Thanksgiving night. You're right. Thanksgiving will start it. Yep. I actually got to move the table into the barn, but I have to muck out the barn first. So we got to do a big muck out and then move the table in so Santa can stand on the table. That's all coming soon. But I rebooted the computer today and couldn't get it back up and running. So after this Q&A, which is about to be over, I'm going to try to get the computer back up so you guys can have your normal, your normal cam back. Something about this soap. I don't know if you got to that one yet.
Will you be making any more of the Alpine soap? So the Alpine soap is our beer soap. That would really be up to Uncle Kevin because I use his beer. So if I could get more of that beer, which was a one and done type of beer.
Yeah, they just made a whole bunch and that was it.
Right. The beer might change, but the concept of it being a beer soap would remain.
Yeah, remain the same, maybe change the beer, and we can always get beer. But it's probably not that same exact one.
Right, but it seems like because Rob also homebrews.
Yeah, we can get
He makes really great great beers as well. Maybe we can get him to make a run that's just kind of for
a soap run.
Our soap, and then we'll have a big stock of it. But I think I would, we'll have to see anything that we put on our website. If we make the decision as to whether or not it stays or goes based on you guys.
Yeah.
So if nobody buys it, we're not making it again.
Right. And we design our soap business kind of like a beer business would. I mean, think of Samuel Adams, huge beer company, but yet they only sell Oktoberfest during October, November, and they purposely sell out and make it so you can't find it in January, February, March, or in the summer by design. And it's the same thing we do. We want to sell out of Grinch and whatever
candy
cane and all that, but we don't want to sell out in a day or a week. That's a good problem to have, but now it's how do you get production to a level where there's enough for the demand of that 30-day window, 60-day window, and that all just comes down to more people and more space, and we're working on all that. So
yeah, I mean, one of my biggest issues or concerns is in production is how much do I need to make?
Yeah, and it's all a guessing game.
I don't want to make too much and then have to hold it all season long. For
example, this one, right?
That one and the Snickerdoodle. So Snickerdoodle and Peppermint Bark, I made a little bit too much of that. So they're coming back this season.
But we had to store them for a year.
But I had to store them for a year, which actually means that is a fantastic bar soap. The longer a soap ages for, it's like a fine wine, becomes vintage, and the flavors just get to, well, in this case, they're not flavors. The bar of soap becomes way less water content. So when it's first made, it has to lose a certain amount of weight in order for it to be ready to be used. Otherwise, it'll melt away. It'll be really soft, and it just won't be as bubbly and lathery and creamy if there's that much moisture still in the bar. So we cure it for 6 to 8 weeks. That gives it enough percentage of water loss that it now is a hard enough bar to be sold. It's not really a safety thing. The soap is safe to use after it goes through saponification, which is typically lasts 24 to 72 hours to get through to the middle of the bar. So, but it's still a very soft bar.
Yeah, it'll melt to it.
There's certain fragrances too, like the Charcoal Obsession, the minty ones. They're extremely soft for a long time. And that has a lot to do with just peppermint essential oils that are used in it. It's, for whatever reason, that process is very soft at the end of the soap. So these soaps, though, the ones, the Peppermint Bark and the Snickerdoodle, and I don't know if I have any more of that Sugar Plum Fairy.
Yes, like 5 of them.
All of them are super hard because they've been curing now for a whole year.
Right.
So they're gonna be great bars of soap.
Yeah.
not to say that the other bars aren't, but the older the bar is, the better it gets.
Yeah, we've actually thought about making a bar on purpose and holding it for a year before we sell it, because people have done it, and it's in the soap industry. It's kind of like wine again. Like this bar has already been aged. It's gonna be super hard.
It's like
It's gonna
aged
last
barreled.
a while.
Yeah, it's like aging wine
Yeah.
in a barrel. It
Yeah.
just gets better with time.
Simple question: when is muck out? As soon as I can get to it. Really, we had a lot of rain earlier this week. Now we've had a lot of nice days, but now we have to do all the calculations and the lumber and everything for House of Pie. But muck out has to happen too. So that's a lot probably this week.
Yeah, but then we have a huge launch on Tuesday.
Right.
So we'll be doing a lot of time with
Right.
shipping stuff
Right.
out, so y'all don't have to wait.
Forever. So
Yeah.
So possibly tomorrow. Muck out might have to get squeezed into tomorrow before the launch. Maybe. Muck out's a 3-hour process. I've gotten it down with Kevin to 3 hours between the main area and the aisle. The whole thing 3 hours. By myself, it's more like 4. It's about an extra hour by myself. So either way, if weather permits, depending on the day, it could possibly be done tomorrow. But again, a lot to prepare, inventory, all this stuff for the launch. So don't know. If not tomorrow, it won't be Tuesday, and then we're on to Wednesday or Thursday. So
Yeah, we'll have to take a look at this week's schedule.
Yep.
There was a question if I have regrets about fixing Winston, and can you remind us again why you made that decision? Wouldn't you have loved to breed him? I do not regret fixing Winston. We fixed him because we have Chanel and Rainey. Chanel is Winston's half-sister. So, in the grand scheme of things, I would not be able to breed her to Winston at all. At the same time, Rainey is, let me get this right, Rainey is Grayson's half-sibling. They share a dad. So that would also make Winston somewhat related to Rainey. And so the inbreeding there would just be too much. So I really couldn't breed him to anybody I already have. And then obviously Charlotte is retired, so I'm not going to breed him to her. So there really wasn't anybody for him to breed, and that wouldn't fix keeping him intact for the possibility of someday breeding him just wouldn't be fair to him. So, we took the opportunity to castrate him so that he didn't have to go through rut. There was a very small chance that we were going to bring in some Alpine girls, but we were going through so much at the time that we passed over them because I felt like at the time that was putting a Band-Aid on a bleeding wound. Bringing those 2 girls in.
Oh yeah, I'm glad we didn't. 100%.
Not to mention we were struggling with this whole parasite situation, and we continue to do so. I don't want to bring in new goats right now. I really want to see what Yoshi can do. Yoshi was like the best thing that came from losing Moo, I feel, other than winning in Winston.
Right.
So I really have a lot of hopes in what Mina will have. I mean, maybe I'm getting myself all worked up and excited about the possibility of Mina having something that is anything like Moo, both physically and personality, with combining Mina's personality, who's a lot like Moo in her like lovability and everything, but also Yoshi's personality. It's just kind of like the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping that Moo's legacy lives on through Mina, and I'm first in line to a Mina baby. So, and Angie knows it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. I know we put most of this out there already, so I don't know if you want to go into that one.
Are you willing to share how much you have left from Winnie Wednesday? and now how much the changes will cost, so we can donate more.
Should
So we
probably.
can donate more. I'm like should or
the total not
maybe.
be. Yeah,
So I don't know. Winnie's vet bill came to about $5,600.
about $5,600, not including Kara's bill prior to going to.
Right,
us,
which
so.
I just haven't looked. That shouldn't be too much because they didn't really do much other than blood work
Right.
and a fecal.
A few
so
hundred.
it's going to be maybe less than 200 or so.
Yeah.
So say we're at 58, and I have no idea how much the upgrades to House of Pie and
Yeah, so if
Paddock
you-
are going to be.
If you
But
follow
that would
Facebook,
leave-
if you follow Facebook, the total was out there. It was about 11,000 was raised. And
After fees and everything. You
after
guys
fees.
actually raised about 12,800 or something like that.
Right,
But then we lose fees, and so our take home was like 11,000
pre-tax.
something.
Yeah.
Listen,
Hey, I just clarified
It's in our
because there's people
pockets,
out there.
yeah.
We're not a charity, so unfortunately we have to pay
We
tax
have
on
to
everything.
pay,
So
yeah.
we have to pay tax
have
on
to
that
pay fees
11,000
and
as
taxes.
income. So
but we're gonna use that 11,000.
yeah, we'll use it all. I'm not worried about it.
for her vet. Well, it's already paid. We
Yeah,
couldn't even
yeah.
take her home.
So
without it
11
being
minus
paid.
6, and that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Still ready for these upgrades, but to your point, between the dirt and the fencing and
We're
the
gonna go through that pretty fast.
Yeah.
The dirt alone,
dirt cost a lot,
which
Yeah.
is crazy.
which is funny because I never.
Freaking dirt.
Now that
You
we're
know
talking,
that whole saying "cheap as dirt"? It's wrong.
yeah,
It's wrong.
totally wrong. Wait a
Well,
second.
because we need good dirt too. It's not. I need dirt that has no rocks in it.
Thought I had it. Maybe not. I originally had. Oh, it's down here. There we go.
So Nina and Coco.
That's a lot of dirt. So I don't know if you heard us while that dirt was
No.
That's pretty dirt. That was the dirt that we used, the new dirt we used when we took all the bad dirt out of the barn and brought in new
Or
dirt.
sand.
That sand, dirt, yes,
We can't
sand.
plant grass in this.
That was
weather.
$500 worth of sand in one truckload.
Yeah.
So, and we're gonna need lots of truckloads.
Well, that
Look at
was that sand.
Yeah, that's sand.
This we actually need topsoil, which
We need
is
something
even
different.
more expensive than that.
Right. Yeah.
Somebody had asked, is Mina and Coco related? And they are half siblings. Grayson has been the dad to all of our Alpines babies since we lost Griffin years ago. We've had
Yeah.
Grayson for over. Well, Grayson and Rainey came around the same time. They're both 5 or 6 years old. So
Yep.
yeah. So he is Mina and Coco's dad.
Yeah.
Which is fine because they are both breeding to Yoshi, who is completely unrelated, so it doesn't matter. But I wouldn't breed them back to Grayson.
Right. So the dividing between the walls between the, say, House of Pie side of House of Pie and the, okay, let's say Thunder side and, I don't know, Sadie side. I don't know.
They're
Well,
retired.
there'll be
yeah.
two different sides. It will be half wall. It'll be a half wall
It'll be a
with
tall
some
half
type
wall.
of grate system, kind of like you see almost in a horse
Yeah,
barn.
so they'll be able to
The-
see through, but not jump
Right.
through.
And not get their head stuck. So we have to think of how we're going to pull that off.
right.
So we're looking into that feature, but it also has to be able to move out of my way so I can muck out back there because I can't be stuck not being able to get in to muck out. So it's going to be a challenge,
Right.
an engineering. Yeah, it's an engineering challenge that we're trying to figure out.
Did you say?
Oh, hi Kim. That
Hi,
was by
Kim.
accident, but still hi.
Yeah.
Yes, I did not mean to click
So
on that.
Angela's question: is there a reason that Vixen and Bonnie are attracted to Grace when they go into heat? That comes down to like one of the 5 signs that your goat is in heat. They have lost their damn mind. That's why. So goats are generally attracted, like when they're in heat, they're generally attracted to another goat in the barn,
Yeah.
whether male or female. But in our case, everybody else in the barn is female. So they tend to stand up against somebody that they feel is pretty high up in the herd.
Right.
So you'll see, like in this case, a lot of the goats have been drawn to to Grace, but Rainey too. Like when Rainey was in heat, there were a couple girls that she was like rubbing her head on, and vice versa. When they're in heat, they rub heads. So They fall in love with one of the other girls, and they get stupid. I mean, in this case, when Vixen was in heat, she just got dumb. She just like stood there, and like these Grace and Evelyn were both headbutting Vixen all around the barn, and she just stood there like, oh my god, give me more. Like, you know, she's stupid.
So to clarify for Kathy, you can't see the questions on chat because 90% of these questions coming in are coming in via YouTube, and you're on Facebook.
So
that's why you're watching on Facebook where there's not a lot of people. I think there's only like 12 or so people over on Facebook. Let's see. Facebook has 16 people, and there's 412 on YouTube. So YouTube's way more active, and that's where all these questions are coming in. But don't worry, we see you over there.
We do see you.
We see
here,
you. We see you here,
but
we don't
YouTube
see you over there.
YouTube can't see you,
Right.
And you can't see YouTube.
Right.
So
So same thing with you. Bingo, another Facebook follower. I can't either. Right, exactly, because you're on Facebook. So
we're actually streaming to Facebook and YouTube
and Twitter
and Twitter
and Twitch.
So the people who are on Twitch can't see
Right.
everything that's happening on YouTube. Everybody on Facebook or everybody on YouTube can't see what's happening on yeah. You guys
Right.
can't see cross platforms.
Right.
We're streaming to multiple platforms.
But us on our computer here can see all of you guys, and on this big monitor up here, that's YouTube.
I can only see YouTube
because YouTube runs 90% of the show.
Right.
Pretty much is how it works. But we try to pick out, when we see questions come through, we'll try to
So this is actually a great follow-up. Vicky asked, won't the House of Pie divider be temporary? No. This is a permanent situation.
This is a permanent. We're going to have 3 separate herds on the farm.
Right. So House of Pie is going to be 2 herds in 1 barn.
2 herds, 2 fields.
They will not be crossing paths.
And the reason we won't have to, I asked this question to Lindsay, the reason we won't have to field rotate, like 20 days, all of them on this field, 20 days, all of them on that field, is because it's only 6, 7 goats, and it's such a large field, we don't have to rotate the field. It's perfect. The amount of goats to the amount of field, the overgrazing isn't happening.
Yeah.
So,
Lindsay took one look at the front paddock where all of the House of Pie goats are right now, and she says, I don't want you to change anything here. This looks great.
Right.
The back paddock is large enough for the 9 goats that we're moving over. So she's like, I would put everybody over here.
And that one's great too. Don't do anything to it. Let them forage on it. It'll grow in. It's such a large opening. It'll be fine. The other barn, unfortunately, at some point had 30 goats living in it or whatever.
Between the babies and all the moms.
The babies and all the moms, and it's just overgrazed, and it needs help.
Well, if you think about
a big refresh.
If you think about the last 10 years, though, when we cut down all the trees and we put up all the fencing and we did everything, we never put the TLC into that field that it needed.
No.
It was covered in shade for decades.
Yeah.
And we took all the trees down, and we didn't put any nutrients into that ground to make it so that it would grow healthy grass that animals could graze on.
Right. So we're already talking to a company that has grass seed designed for sheep and goats. By the way, you just picked up another subscriber. And we're only 8 away, guys. And it's designed for sheep and goats in New England. So we're already talking to them. That seed, I don't know how much we'll need. We got to measure how much land we're trying to.
And I think it would be really smart to like invest in an aerator and overseed these paddocks once they're all. That's what we need to do, because
100%.
As the goats graze on it, inevitably you get that soft piece of dirt, and they pull out the grass, and you're taking out the roots.
There'll be a couple things we're probably going to invest in. Some things we're going to rent, like a what's it called, a disc harrow, which will flip the grass, and then there's another thing we got to rent that'll also get the ground ready. We'll bring in some topsoil, mix that all in, and then we'll rent a seeder that'll throw the seed down. We might have to buy a seeder, to your point, because we're going to want to seed almost every year.
But you have to aerate it.
Maybe an aerate. Most people don't aerate fields, pastures.
So my issue with the aeration is it might not need to be done, but it should be done, only because when you go to reseed, if you want the animals to stay on that field while you're waiting for the grass to grow in, you want the seeds to fall into the hole, and then they can grow in the hole before the animal starts actually eating.
Correct. We'll look into what we need and what we don't need. But so
somebody said, like, who exactly is going to be in each herd.
Yeah.
So we've got the 6 goats that are already over in House of Pie. So everybody who's already in House of Pie, that will remain the 1 herd that gets to use the front paddock. So that's going to include goats like Billy and Pie and Danica and Thor and Thunder and Roman. Those are
Yep,
the 6.
those 6. Stay up front.
So then we have all of our girls that are in Cassie Castle right now who are going to be retired or who have not been bred this year. So that's going to include Sadie, Charlotte, Lucy, Amy, Genevieve, and then the babies, Dolce, Bonnie, Gianna, and Vixen. That's the 9. Those 9 are going to live in the back paddock of House of Pie. But the interior of House of Pie is getting that upgrade that we've been talking about.
Right, to get bigger.
So the new girls who are going to be in the back paddock are going to live on the, like when you guys watch the House of Pie cam, it's usually looking out down.
Right,
House of Pie.
down the bowling alley.
The back half of House of Pie interior is getting a small expansion, and there will be a box that is.
It'll be shaped like, well, the current House of Pie will be here. The new House of Pie will be here, right? It'll be a big L.
Be kind of.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's what it'll be.
So underneath the porch of House of Pie will get smaller for the 5-6 goats that live there now, but that will give the new House of Pie residents an area that is larger inside, and then there's a spot that they can still be outside. Nope, not. There'll be a spot where they can go outside to their back paddock and never have to mingle with the other herd in House of Pie. So it's 2 separate herds that are going to live in House of Pie, and then that will leave Cassie's Castle to be just moms and babies.
It's basically a mom and breeding barn. It's the same. It's as close. We lost that person. It's the same way it would go if you were a dairy farm without separating moms from babies. Like they swap to keep all the parasites down, or they have a barn that is literally usually not used until moms have babies. Like it's empty most of the year. It's the kidding barn. If babies are born, babies go this way, moms go that way. Boom, boom, boom. The month of kidding season's over. The barn gets stripped. It doesn't get used for another.
So there has to be two goat feeders in.
Correct.
Oh well. No, there'll probably be 1 goat feeder in the new part.
In the new
House of
part,
Pie.
yeah, there'll be 1 on
There
each
will
side.
be 2 hay feeders
Yeah.
in House of Pie, 1 for House
Correct.
of Pie 1, House of Pie
Yeah,
2.
I actually talked about that.
But we have to kind of just the current House of Pie 6 goats. They won't need anything extra.
Nope.
They have a great hay feeder. It's nice
They're
and
fine.
big. They're fine. We'll have to keep an eye on the new group in House of Pie to see if maybe, because 9 goats, that's a lot of goats on 1 feeder. We'll have to see if they need 2 smaller feeders.
Yeah,
that are
we'll have to
separate so
figure that out.
nobody's getting bullied out of eating.
Yep. Yes, of course, the divider will be Thor-proof. That
Yeah.
is the definite. And what will happen with the playground? The playground will be in one of the sections in back at Cassie's Castle. It'll end up in field 2, not field 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
We might have to come up with a new playground concept, but not as big or as crazy for the other section.
Paddock 3.
And then same thing at House of Pie.
Keep in mind
something
they
in
will
the-
always have the logs,
The logs and
and the
rocks.
pirate ship because that'll all stay in paddock 1, and they'll have access to paddock 1 all the time.
Right.
So paddock 2 will have the playground. Paddock 3 or no, vice versa,
Whatever. You want to.
One of the new paddocks will need toys added.
Yeah, and the back half of House of Pie will need toys added, but I'm telling you right now, this is all going to take time.
Yes,
Lots of time.
Lots of time.
Yep. All right. That I saw that question go by. I had to scroll back. I did not. Okay, Aaron, did you get the clip in Syman Says Farms live when you coming over the fence? Hang on. Oh, that person came back. That subscriber.
When you jumped over the fence back in April to save Kai, who wasn't
Yes.
needing saving.
Right. No, I did not see that yet. I'll have to go to Syman Says Farms live. There's probably a lot of posts we haven't approved. So I'll have to go look and see if I can find it.
It was probably approved, but
Yeah, or I haven't seen it yet. So this one you can read because it's not 100% correct.
all the babies will be together with moms in House of Pie. No.
No.
Only Bonnie will be going over to House of Pie with her mom, Lucy, because Lucy's retired. Everybody else, like Vixen, her mom is 80, and 80 is hopefully pregnant this year, so she stays in Cassie's Castle. Gianna, her mom is Greta,
Stella.
also hopefully pregnant, so she stays in Cassie's Castle. Who else? Dolce.
Dolce, no.
Her mom is Grace, hopefully also pregnant, stays in Cassie's Castle. And then, I know I'm missing somebody. Dolce, Bonnie, Vixen,
And Winnie's already staying.
Gianna.
So
And then Winnie's staying.
So good point though. Temporary is yes, sort of temporary, not really. So these babies that are moving to the back half of House of Pie will someday come back to Cassie's Castle to be bred and have babies.
Yeah. Next
Down the
year,
road.
like
Right.
later
Yeah.
next year, like before breeding season starts.
But that change will happen with Dolce and her crew coming this way, and the next round of retireds going that way.
So like Rainey
Right.
and Deandra, these are my girls
Right.
who just
Have
ate-
one more
are-
year.
just have one more year and they're aging out.
Right.
And then if somebody else has a delivery where we're like, you're done,
You're done.
then
So-
they go over too.
And that swap will happen in pretty much the same day, because you don't want them to go from 9 goats to 12 and then back down to 9 a week later, whatever. No, it'll happen the exact same day, like
Yep.
when we make the switch, So,
Right.
and that'll pretty much happen as the years go on. There'll be a rotation.
Yep.
And
Well, we also have to kind of talk about the inevitability of
Oh,
our
yeah.
numbers are constantly going to change.
talked about
We've
that.
got an aging herd right now.
Yes.
This is, we've been doing this for almost 10 years. And
Yeah.
so our oldest goat is 9. She's going to be 10 next year. Our first starter herd of goats right now are 8.5.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Life is going to come. The realities of goat life is going to come on quickly.
I know people are like, wow, you guys have had a really hard year and whatever. Hope next year is better. But it's I don't think it will be. I think we're in the game right now of we're going to have loss every year. And it's not going to be because this one got sick and that one.
Nope.
No, it's going to start happening because they're just old.
They're just old. And we don't put our goats down just because they're not active. Like, oh, you're not making babies anymore, and and you put them down, or some farms go to auction or freezer or whatever. We don't. We let them retire out until the vet and us make the decision. Like, yeah, she has trouble getting up. She's not,
It's the quality of
quality
life.
of life. So it is. I was having this conversation with a goat snuggler one day. I'm like, Kara said Moo was old at 7. And we're like, 7? She's like, yeah, that's getting up there. And we're like, you Google it, and Google says like 8 to 12. Like 12 sounds good to us. And they're like, yeah, no, 8 to 10 is more
I
like.
think because Kara also sees a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of goats, and she doesn't see the healthy ones.
Right.
So she
correct.
sees the older goats who are 7 or 8 years old, and they're having to be put down.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that all goats are old at 7 or 8 years old.
Right. Good point.
And that's kind of what I've always said about any vet. They always see your animal on one of the worst days.
Right. You don't call the vet
Yeah.
out when everybody's healthy.
No.
Other than Lindsay kind of came out when everybody's
Other than
healthy.
Lindsay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
It's a preemptive consulting session. That's really what it was. That's why she was out. So,
yeah, and this is something that actually Kara and I we talked about having. Kara was like, I'm putting it all together, and we're gonna put these numbers together right after Moo passed away that night or the morning.
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
like, we're gonna get a handle over this.
Mary and Typo, I just saw it up there on that screen. We don't want to talk about it either. I get it. We don't want to talk about it either, but it's going to happen. We can't shy. But this is our channel. Is life on a farm. I said it in the video. Like, this shit has to stop. Like Quinn breaking his arm. I don't want to post videos that are bad news just to get the views, right?
But this is what's happening.
This is what's happening. Like,
Yeah.
I'll go there for a second. I didn't post. Hang on. Maybe I won't go there.
Okay.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
I think. I'm going to try.
Okay.
I didn't post that video about me being at that car accident for the views. I posted it to get it off my chest. Now it came down because there was a lot that went on in that 24 or 48 hour period. And for the villager that helped me get in touch with somebody closer involved, thank you. The conversation we had, he knew I didn't post it for the views, but we came up with the decision to take it down. So my point is, as these goats die, we're not going to hide it from you. Like, it's not going to be turned into some Steven Spielberg video every single time. But these are our stories that we get to hold on to. Jake, just the other day, it was the past week or month or whatever, he said something about Cassie's video. Cassie's video is out there. You can go and find it on YouTube. It's there somewhere. You made the video when she passed away. We can go watch that anytime we want. So when all these goats start dying, there will be memories. So when Quinn and Olivia and Jake and Tyler get older, and they're, oh yeah, we used to have a goat named Cassie, or a goat named Sadie, or a goat named Charlotte, and they can go and find it. So that's kind of where I was going with that.
I think too, there's just, and it's not to downplay other goats that we have, but there's just some goats on our farm who have impacted
100%.
our lives and and other people's lives. And they're just, not to disrespect the other ones, but I think that comes down to people too. There's just some people who are just monumental figures within their community. And then there's other ones that are just a little more quiet. And their deaths bring out different reactions, different emotions, different ways to memorialize them. And that's what has happened over the years here is, some goats, no death on our farm has ever gone like without tears.
Right.
It's always. There's just some that have more.
Okay, there was that one rooster that, like, oh my God, we don't miss
I was not upset.
In the farm world, there are ones that are like, oh my God, thank you.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I was talking to a snuggler, and I'm like, yeah, someday, these goats are famous. They're like, the Mickey Mouse Club. You got Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse and Goofy and Donald Duck, and of course, Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse are more important or more popular.
I guess. Pivotal.
And it's the same thing here, But
and what's interesting is that goat for you could be different than it is to you
100%.
or me or somebody
100%.
else. Your favorite, you connect with that goat. But there's other people who connect with a totally different
So
other
we
one.
know by technology, our texting platform has the ability to create incoming text. So if you guys send us a text right now, we have told our texting platform to look for certain words. And when whether they're hashtagged or not, and when it finds those words, it gives us data to tell us, hey, your village uses this word a lot. And we program the system to almost give us data as into who your favorite goat is. And obviously Moo was winning, but we can look at rank, like, we could send out a text right now if we wanted to and say, who's your favorite goat? And you guys would start spitting back your answers, and the system will literally compile that data and tell us this is the next one on the top. And freaking Greta, with her stupid hay throwing, is starting to come up to the top because you guys find her funny. But we could see it, like Harper, she got a little knitted thing here, so we could see who falls out, like, at the top, and who doesn't really get something.
I think, picking who your favorite or saying who your favorite goat is kind of a personality test.
100%.
Because who you relate to.
Rainy. Go ahead, put it out there. If you got a 80, Rainy.
Yep. Well, and maybe say Rainy is my favorite because.
Oh, that'd be cool. But
because it's like, okay, so why is 80 your favorite? Is it because she's mischievous? Is it because she had the change of, her craziness to motherhood?
Or is it because you were adopted and Rainy came back to 80? Like there's some real deep meaning there, which I have heard that. We've gotten emails of
like I connect with so-and-so because I lost my mom
100%.
And Winnie and Winston lost their mom and whatever. See, she likes 80 because she's spicy and I love it.
Yep.
That's, some people are
It's such a hard question. Of course. Yeah.
Well, once you start trying to narrow it down, you're like, I like this one, I like this one. Wait a second, apparently I like all of them. Because it's for different reasons. Like I like Greta because she's spicy and she's naughty and she's
Yeah.
you know, a hussy. I like Winnie because she's character. She's just fun, and you know, for me personally, like because I have that bond, and it's undeniable, and it's really just kind of happens, you know.
Yeah.
But,
Sadie because she's sassy. Yeah, that's cool. Sadie and yep,
yeah. Jenny and Gia are
because she's a loud mouth. Yep.
Gianna because she's a loudmouth. Greta because she's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, Greta.
Pretty
Charlotte.
much like me.
Charlotte's one of my favorites. Charlotte will be a tough one to lose. I'll tell you that right now. Charlotte, she's always been.
She's always been a good girl.
Correct. She's not our problem child. I don't. In this.
She's our problem child when it comes to worms. And actually, if you
don't-
think about it, the last several years she has not been a
But
problem.
like the easiest one to get off the stand and
She's
go to
just
the door.
so-
That's Charlotte.
So she's just easy. You tell her to go somewhere, she goes. You tell her to not do
80.
something, she doesn't do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thor. There we go. We got some for the boy. Yeah. So that's
Thor
my
was
point.
born on the day.
Yeah.
Thor was born on the day my brother passed.
Yeah.
And I think it was my brother reincarnated.
Oh
as
my gosh.
Thor, and that's why he's
Yeah. Wow.
She is so mild mannered. She is my sweet Southern Belle. I've called her that from when she was a baby. She's always been, and she's so mothering. She's so
Which one? Who you
Charlotte.
doing? Charlotte is. Charlotte will probably take Winnie under her arm when Winnie's the only baby in that barn.
well. That's good, but Charlotte's moving.
Charlotte won't be there. Never mind. You're right. I forgot about
Sadie
that.
and Winnie, for whatever
Yeah.
strange
Sadie
reason,
Won't be there
Sadie.
either.
I know Sadie and Winnie
Yeah.
have had a
That's what I meant. I didn't
bond.
even mean to say Charlotte. I meant to say Winnie, but I mean Sadie.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know because I thought
Yeah,
thought
100%.
I thought Winnie would have the protection of or the friendship of some of the babies.
Yeah.
You know, like she's close with Dolce, or I
Right.
guess Dolce is interested, whatever. But
Yeah.
because Dr. Lindsay said no, like you have to get everybody,
All of them.
all of them over there.
Yeah. She's
And
like, I
once-
understand you won't move Winnie, but
And once
gotta-
once we decided that we could separate the two herds, I was more comfortable sending the babies over there. I was like, I cannot put these little 8-month-old babies in with
Thor.
these almost 200-pound
Right.
boys. I
And-
can't do it. So
So extreme barn makeover is happening in the next like 3 weeks. Yeah.
speaking of, do you want to
yeah.
get into that or no?
I hit the wrong button. I can't pick a favorite goat because I love them all. That's like me and pizza. I can't pick a favorite taco.
Yeah. Most recently, Claudia asked, does Winnie
We have a middle name. I was trying to find it. There.
So
it is.
most recently, Winnie has always been like Winnie the Pooh to me. When she's real naughty, maybe Winifred comes
Time's
out. Her naughty full name comes out. Although that's really not her full name. If anybody knows the meaning behind Winnie's name, drop it in the comments.
I'll be right back, and then yes, we can get into that topic.
Okay. So if you know the
Yeah.
true meaning behind Winnie's name, you can drop it in the comments. But most recently, I have been calling Winnie Rose because she goes and tries to eat my rose bushes outside when she's going on her walks. Winnie the Moo Del Me to me now. That's apparently her full name. I do love them all, but they all have their own personalities. Yes, they all have their own personalities for sure. Right, Stella? Right, Telly? Telly. All right, let's see. Does anybody know they're called Winnie and Winston because they are Moo's winners? That was actually a happy coincidence. I did not realize that both of them were Win babies. That really, Winnie's name was picked out before she was born. Winston was almost, Weston. He was almost Weston, right?
I don't know.
Winston.
Maybe.
It wasn't until later that somebody in chat was like, oh my God, they're the Win twins. They've won. And I didn't realize it. So you guys actually pointed that out. So Winnie's name is actually, it should have been spelled differently. And then you guys, I guess, would have realized what I was going for. I went with the traditional spelling, but Winnie's name was actually for the sound that horses make, because moo is the sound that moo is the sound that a cow makes. Winnie is the sound that a horse makes, and so I was going with the sounds theme of different animals, and I didn't want to go with oink. It wasn't very feminine, so. Although it would have made a good name for Winston.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
We're gonna go there.
No time like the present.
All right, so we got another story to tell.
Why didn't you fill my?
You know what? I'm having trouble. Here, I'm just gonna pour it right out of the top.
Oh, you're gonna spill it all over her.
Come over here. Oh,
Oh no, so much fruit.
So much better though.
All right.
I wonder if all the
So we have an update.
wine
have
was on the top.
Oh, you didn't shake it?
I think I did. I shook it for mine, and I couldn't even get mine out of there. All right. So to make a long story short, it's going to be a long story. It's actually not going to be that long.
It's going to be very long if he tells it correctly.
Oh, if I tell it correctly. Okay. So you might have heard, or you've been around a while, that we've talked about my hip pain, right? We've gone back and forth. If we go far enough back to before May of last year, you remember we sat on this couch, maybe you do or not, don't remember, that I went for a Lyme disease test. It was way back.
It wasn't May of last year.
May was the first time I saw a hip
It was
doctor.
May of this year.
This year. Yes.
It was May 2022.
May 2022. It was May of this year. You're right. May of this year. I saw the hip doctor for the first time. Previous to that, they were just shooting in the dark. Like, maybe you have Lyme disease or whatever.
Well,
they couldn't find anything on X-ray. And
right, you started at like.
I started at a
your
walk-in
normal,
clinic.
Right, they did X-rays and they did.
Lyme disease test.
Yep, and they.
Yep, I remember. We talked about Lyme
we did.
disease.
We talked
here
about
on
it. We did everything they said
Yep.
to do. They couldn't pinpoint it
Nope.
to Lyme.
So,
There was nothing on the X-ray.
correct. So then they sent me to an orthopedic. I don't want to. It wasn't a hip specialist. It was an orthopedic specialist. That person ordered a MRI. The MRI didn't really show anything that we really wanted to see, and there's all this. For you Canada people, I would love to have your healthcare system.
Right.
Ours is a mess. So back and forth from May till now, pretty much, it's been constant. Doctor's appointments, this
So
specialist,
they did
that
like
one.
the cortisone.
They went MRI first,
Yeah.
and then I had to wait 3 weeks or whatever, go back to them. They read the MRI. They're like, "Yep, don't really see anything." And then,
Well,
okay, where's this pain coming from? Let's take another X-ray. Is it coming from your spine? They saw something down there they didn't like, but that's okay. We're not doing anything about that. And then they're like, "We can't find it. Let's try a cortisone shot in your hips." So I went and got the cortisone shot in the hip, and it worked for like a
Well,
week.
they said if this shot works, it's your hip. If it doesn't work, it's your spine.
And the pain is showing up in your hips. And now there are two pains happening, just to give you a high level. There's one way on the outside of the hip that was more a radiating pain. It just hurt. If I sit and edit too long, it hurts. If I sit in the car too long, it hurts. It hurts to sit, really. Walking, not so bad. But then there's another pain in the front of my hip, more in my pelvis, that you probably heard me in the barn once or twice scream like, "Ow!" Like I got
a very
stabbed.
acute pain.
Oh yeah, it's brought tears to my eyes. It hurts so bad when it happens, but I can go days without it happening. So it's a very
Not
Not anymore. That was months ago. Now it happens every day, multiple times a day. So it kept going, and then we went to this doctor, and then to that doctor, and I'm having surgery somewhere between Thanksgiving and Christmas, which could put me off my feet for 4 to 6 weeks. No weight bearing on my right hip, no driving, for somewhere between 4 to 6 weeks.
And physical therapy
Physical
three
therapy
times a week.
2 to 3 times a week. And it was done by design. because we talked to the doctor. Yes, you heard that. Aaron will not be around for 4 to 6. Oh, I'll be around. I'll still go daily on YouTube from bed.
His head is so messed up right now.
I am so panicked. I got to do this House of Pie project all before Thanksgiving. All before surgery.
But the thing is what he doesn't understand is like he has a team of
I
people
get it.
behind him.
I understand.
And I wish you gave us a little more credit. I understand because it's the anxiety of like you don't sit still, and now the doctor's saying you're not allowed to put weight on your hip for 4 to 6 weeks. Now there's one of two things that's going to happen. The surgery is either going to take 6 weeks to recover from because of how they have to do it, or it's going to take 2 weeks of non-weight bearing, right? It was 2 to 6 weeks.
2 to 6 weeks. And don't worry, I will get to this. I have pictures with arrows and everything. Just give me a minute.
There's going to be right now?
Yeah, oh yeah,
okay.
right now.
So,
yeah, I saved it all.
Okay, so I'll talk, you click?
No, I have props. Okay, so you ready? There's a couple problems going on. Let me get out my props. We need a cup. We need a rock. You hold that rock. We need a scrunchie. I really do hope I can clip this out later and make this just its own. And I need a bone, like a femur or something. Right? Is that the femur? Right?
Yeah, it's a femur.
Right there.
Yeah.
So the hip and socket, right? Get it? Your hip moves around. You walk. Everything's all good, right? Hunky dory, right? Inside your hip is this
ligament.
It's a ligament called the labrum, I think, right? This ligament protects your hip in here.
Some professional's gonna see this.
And it wiggles around, and you pull and your legs move and stuff like that, right? That's how a normal hip works. Now,
I'm sure that's not how it works at all.
Please draw your attention to the screen. Oh, you're watching the screen already. Hang on. We are taking it all off. I mean, not really. You are going in to my body and looking at my CAT scan. Are you ready?
Here we go.
HIPAA's right out the window. There we go. So that is my pelvis.
And he did not shower for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm so brown.
Yeah.
They add the brown just for, I asked him, I said, wow, I was dirty that day. Like, what's all the brown? And he's like, oh, it means nothing. Don't worry about it.
It's just for contrast.
Okay, so ready? Follow the
along.
red circle. That is not supposed to be there. Let's go back.
Is this.
Let's go back. Hip, red circle. Hip, red circle. That is a piece of bone. Let me get rid of this. That is a piece of bone about the size of a chickpea floating in my hip right about there. So every time I walk, it obviously has not fallen out. If it fallen out, we wouldn't have had to have this surgery.
Right, but what it's doing is it's jagged.
It's literally cutting this labrum artery
It's not an artery.
Sorry, a ligament.
It's a big deal if you get ligament and artery mixed up.
Good point. She's big brain. I am not. I'm just playing with a cup of noodles, a little girl scrunchie, and a bone that the dogs would like.
And a rock
from outside. So the rock is literally tearing my ligament apart as I walk.
Like shredding it.
The shredded ligament is the pain that I get when I just sit for too long, or it's agonizing because the ligament's done. The rock is a floating bone that when moved the hip in the wrong direction stabs me and creates that. So let's go back to the
ligament pain that you're getting,
yes.
No, I don't want to tell you you're wrong, but you're wrong. So the pain that you're getting when you sit is the other issue. The sharp, intense, acute pain
is when this
stabs the rock shaving at your soft tissues. That's that pain.
Right. I think ultimately
the other issue that you have that hurts when you sit for too long is the one that you haven't gotten to yet.
Oh, that one. Okay, so let's talk about the floating rock for a minute. Right, we're going to continue there.
We're taking it out.
We're trying to have some fun with yet more bad news. Okay, so it's actually, yes, puppies, we will feed you in a minute. It's actually not bad news. Let me back up, because if you remember way back when I said freaking Lyme disease, I wanted them to find something that they can fix.
Not Lyme disease.
And not Lyme disease, right? But I wanted them to, I was like, I almost want surgery because it can be fixed, right? I don't want them to say, oh, you go to physical therapy and this will get better. The hip surgeon looked at this and goes, oh, geez, this is a project.
Because
And
there's a couple things.
and
else going
there's a
on.
couple other things going on too, but he's like, yeah, this wouldn't have been fixed with physical therapy. It wouldn't have helped at all. We got to get that floating rock out of there.
Yeah.
So on the hip, we already circled it in red, and we're like, where the heck did that floating bone come from? I keep pushing the wrong button. Sorry. Red, no red. Yellow. See that hole there?
Yeah.
That's where the red piece fell out of. Yellow, broken piece of my pelvis fell into my hip socket and
It's
has
just kind
been
of floating there now.
floating there, ripping apart my whatever
Your
that's called.
labrum and other soft
My-
tissues and nerves and stuff.
Right, my labrum and other soft tissues. Do you know if you have a hand on? I don't know. I was trying to reach out. I don't know. So now next, after they pull the rock out and fix the scrunchie.
Well, so here's the thing: is they don't know whether they have to, if they're going to be able to
Oh yeah, just sew it.
repair and bring the two pieces of ligament together,
Like whoop, we fixed
or
it.
are they going to have to reconstruct it and add like something in there that's not already from your body?
Yeah. So, Haley, right? Who just that
Yeah.
wedding question?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You'll have to reach out
We
to
do.
us. Yep.
Shoot us an email. And we could talk.
And that's why it's 2 weeks if they're able to get
Oh, that's a good fit.
if they're able to get your ligament together by just bringing the two pieces together, then it's a shorter recovery time. If they have to go and reconstruct this ligament, it's a full 6 weeks.
It's a long time. They got to poke 4 holes. It is, what's it called?
Your labrum.
Laparoscopic.
Oh, laparoscopic.
Yeah, a bunch of holes. They're gonna drill a
Yeah.
bunch of holes in the side of my hip. So that's better than
So
having
then
to
the
cut me
other
open
issue
completely.
going on in your hip is that this
Oh
this-
yes. Yeah.
this is not a nice round
Yeah,
fitting.
it's kind of bent like that or something. Yeah.
So you've got some arthritis and some cartilage that just does not.
Yeah.
And the ball of your hip is not shaped
So
correctly.
this the part of my hip has a good curve like this. The other part of my hip does not. It's kind of flat like that. So while they're in there, I almost brought the Dremel up here and plugged it in. We would have had some fun. While they're in there, they're gonna and shave down my bone to give it more of a curve. So when I'm sitting, the bone's not hitting the ball and causing pressure that hurts. It gives me more room, almost more flexibility to not constantly cause this tension.
Yeah.
So he's like, while I'm in there, I might as well fix that curve because that's just a birth defect. It's just not the way it should be. He's like, I could get it better. In the end, we're hoping this all buys me 10 years before a new hip.
Yeah.
He's like, you're
and
way
he
too
seems-
young for a new hip. The doctor's like,
He seems to
This is
think that while you are destined to have a new hip someday, 10 years plus
plus.
is what this surgery will get you.
Right.
If you don't go and do stupid shit like jump over the gate and for a goat that's not stuck.
Okay. I picked up 1 subscriber from my story. Maybe they have a bad hip too. It could be it. You
I
never
take
know.
no responsibility for Aaron's ability to stay in bed. I cannot.
Okay, hold. Okay, we're back. The goats have thanked our subscriber. Yeah. It actually sounds really good. There's people clapping and goats making a whole bunch of noise. And yeah, it was just supposed to be transparent so they could see us all the time. Aaron, my husband, has 6th joint replacement on January
He's
3rd.
bionic.
Wow.
I know where you and Liz are. His first
Yes,
replacement
yes.
was at the age of 50.
Oh my gosh. I'm 40 something. Yeah, 43. Yep. So I'm already planning things to do while I lay in bed a lot. Certain TV shows I'm going to binge watch. We have a ridiculous list of things that need to get done. Like I said, it's after Thanksgiving, before Christmas. We're not putting out the exact date, but you will know as things happen. Liz will post on somewhere like, Aaron's out of surgery, all went well. She'll let you guys know.
I'll
But
keep you guys posted.
yeah, but it's Yeah, it's nerve wracking. I mean, no disrespect to Liz and the team. I do all the cooking. That stresses me out. I do a lot
Let's
of it.
rephrase
There's
that.
just-
He doesn't do all the cooking. The kids can cook for themselves too. On the days
they can.
That's the thing. Is our kids are very independent. They're very self-sufficient. We've raised them to
Yes.
be able to fend for themselves.
I agree.
I am not completely incapable
Not at all.
of cooking.
You just don't like to.
I don't like it, and nobody's going to want to eat it. So
This is a good point. Actually, you make some good things.
my point is, I think you also have to remember, you used to travel for a living,
I know.
and my kids are still alive.
I think there's a difference.
I can do this. It
and-
makes me feel like,
and I know
don't
you
think I
can. 100%. I know you can. I don't want to upset you. I understand that. I know I can't sit still. And the fact that I now have to sit still and watch all you guys like in the same area, you know what I mean?
Well, then we
Like,
just won't come to see you. We'll just close the bedroom door and never come in to see you.
my point is, think about it though. It almost would have been easier if they're like, yeah, he's going to stay in the hospital for a week. Well, now I can't get on my damn crutches and hobble my way to the barn.
Well, and that's the
You
thing
know?
is, it's not like they're telling you that you have to be
Right.
bedbound. They just are saying no weight bearing. If you want
Yeah.
to hobble your way down to the farm store or the
Yeah.
barn or down to the lotion room, like, you are more than capable
Yeah.
of hobbling your way down there.
And I will. I'll
just-
probably take the first week and not move much. I don't know. And then we'll see how it goes. I'm already looking for a high stool for that person that asked, on Black Friday weekend. Don't worry, Black Friday weekend, the surgery hasn't happened.
Well, I told the doctor it's not allowed to happen between these days and these days.
Right.
Pick
That's
one.
that's what we said. We need him recovered before kidding season.
Mhm.
Yep.
So if it's not happening before kidding season, then it doesn't happen until July.
and that's what we decided. So
But I'll tell you, we scheduled this surgery date, right? And I feel like your pain level
oh my God.
has just, like, I'm glad we didn't say, like, let's just do it in July.
No.
I don't think you'll make it to July.
So there was a day.
I don't know that I'll make it till July.
Oh, I wouldn't make it till July. There was a day I was on the phone. Literally, this is how fast it can happen. I was on the phone in the driveway, just talking on the phone, kind of pacing in circles, just normal walking. And all of a sudden, my hip went and it stabbed me, right? So instantly when that happens, I got to take all the weight off that leg. And I'm standing on the other leg, just in the middle of the driveway, nothing to hold on to. And I'm on the phone, and it hurt. It hurt, stabbed real hard for like that split second. And then I go to put the leg back down, and it stabs me again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit, that's never happened. I go to put the leg back down a third time, and it stabs me again. I'm like, oh God, I'm stuck in the middle of the driveway. Now I got tears
One-legged.
like one-legged on the phone with this person, trying not to lose my mind. Taxes, dealing with tax stuff with my accountant,
You already want to lose
which
your
I
mind.
already want to punch myself in the face. And now I'm like looking at my car going, oh my God, can I hobble my way to my car to leave? This was just like a week ago. And I'm like, eventually my hip came back to working, and then I walked out and did the barn.
I wonder if that piece of bone got stuck.
It got stuck somewhere.
Stuck between your bone of your
Yeah.
functioning pelvis and the bone of your
I don't know.
yeah.
And that was
ball
just,
joint.
and I was like, oh my God, I'm not even gonna make it. If I gotta go inside and I can't move, we gotta call the doctor and be like,
I
his
can't
hip
move.
just exploded and like he can't. It was bad. And lately it's been okay, but like we were at Costco's and you were like, you said it like 5
It
times.
happens all the time now, and it's not this. Okay. Truth time. Come to Jesus moment. You have a lot of man pains.
Yeah, of course I do.
And so a lot of your ows are like,
Okay.
oh God, again.
We'll come to
Like,
Jesus moment in a minute too. Keep going.
So Jan W is like, sitting in chat, and it's like, if I don't get my daily air and out, I feel gypped.
Right.
I feel cheated. I didn't get my money's worth. Some of your ows are just like Homer Simpson. Don't you're like,
Mhm.
this ow is it's not even ow. Like there was a night where you just rolled over in bed, and it's such a helpless feeling. I don't know what to do because you're in so much pain, but there's literally nothing I can do.
Yeah.
And asking you, are you okay, feels a little like
Yeah.
not enough. But there's nothing I can do about it.
So on the flip side of that, because I do a lot of Homer Simpson ows and dough and man pains or whatever, over the last year, I felt nobody believed me that my fucking hip hurts.
Well,
like
so
bad. And when
then-
that picture came back with that floating bone on it, I'm like, yes, finally people will realize I'm in damn pain here. I'm not faking it. Like, there was a part of me like, thank God there's, because I don't want everybody to think when I turn from, or I don't really care what other people think. But my point was, when I turn from the stove to the sink and I almost fall on the ground because the pain hurts, I'm not faking it.
Okay,
And that's where I was like,
but your pains weren't like that.
Correct.
Back then.
You're
They've
right.
gotten worse.
right,
So you had your MRI and CAT scan.
it's
or
the right
whatever.
hip. It's this side.
You had your MRI and your CAT scan. We got the results of that through my chart before the doctor's appointment. And so we, as in you, me, Angie, and Allison, are sitting at the lunch table. We're reading through the chart. We're Googling the words we don't know. And
We're like, oh, you're a mess.
and we were like, oh.
We were like, uh-oh.
We're like, we got torn ligaments and a floating piece of bone.
That was pre-CAT scan.
Right. It was the MRI results.
Right. The MRI, we were like, oh, man, this is a mess. And then when you ordered a CAT, how long is the recovery? We don't.
Well, it's,
Okay, surgery
it
is in
depends.
December. Let's just say that. It's in December, and the surgery should only be a couple hours, but
it's going to be a whole day.
A whole
thing.
day at
So
the
he's got to get there real early, and then
Yeah,
like the pre-op stuff, and then he goes in for the surgery, which probably takes a couple hours, and then after he has to stay, the whole anesthesia thing. But they also do your first round of physical therapy before you leave the hospital. But it's not an overnight thing. It's a whole, let's say it's like an 8 to 10 hour day at the hospital.
Yeah, and then recovery can be literally 2 weeks to 6 weeks, depending on what they have to do when they're in there.
That's what they said, 2 to 6. Like
I think it
2
was
weeks.
4 to 6.
I kind of do too.
I think it was 4 to 6,
But
depending.
4 to 6 doesn't sound long enough to me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought it was.
Right now, it doesn't hurt, just so we all know. Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, so you
hurt
shouldn't
until
be
you
sitting
start
this
living.
long. You know what? Here's not bad, and it's one of the reasons we had to redo this room, because when we used to sit here, we had a coffee table here, and now I just have a chair. I can move it, I could stretch the leg out, I could do things. But when we had that big coffee table here,
I put my feet on.
I
and
couldn't
liked
do it. I was like, I'm stuck in here. So when we redid the room, it was not, I can get you something to put your feet on. But
Yeah.
it was part of the reason. And somebody said, oh, I just thought you always got hurt in the barn. And I'm like, no, it just hurts to do whatever.
No, that
That does happen.
She's not wrong.
That's true. You're not wrong.
He and Quinn, apparently it's hereditary, are accident prone.
Uh,
If Aaron can hurt himself, he will hurt himself. The fingers and the toes and the stubbing this and the elbows, like he has, no offense, no body awareness. It's why I sit like this, because his elbow will come, and it's happened.
Yes, it has. I've hit your wine glass like 5 times.
That's why
tonight.
I'm sitting over here,
Yeah.
because there's no spatial awareness. So
Yeah.
yes, the owls are normal, but the intensity of the pain is not, and that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a mobility scooter. So Tyler's looking for one. He's on Facebook Marketplace.
He's looking for a
but-
tank.
But the doctor wants me to walk. He's like, in the beginning, like first couple days, yeah, bed. Stay in bed for 2-3 days, whatever.
No,
and-
he still wants you to get
and
up and move.
Get up
but
and move. But it's like 20 pounds you're allowed to put on your hip. And I weigh 205.
10.
Shut up. I just weighed in. They
Did
know.
you use the
20
livestock
I did
scale?
use the livestock scale. And with all my clothes on, I weighed 205 on the livestock. If I went naked on the livestock, I could have weighed maybe 199. But because we're live in that barn, I did not do that.
You're welcome.
Views would not go up. We would lose subs.
Or they would have.
No,
I never
not at
know.
all. From that far away, maybe we would have been okay. But my point
But have
was,
you consulted Dr. Kara or Dr. Lindsay?
no, but I should. Yeah.
Should. Maybe they could do it. Because
Oh,
they're way cheaper than any kind of specialist.
that's true. Tufts is, and I'm not going there. Actually,
Tufts
Tufts is
actually
way
wasn't-
cheaper than whatever this is
I
going
was
to
going
cost.
to say Tufts is way
Yeah.
better than.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm worried about all that too, but we
Oh.
won't go there.
Tufts?
No, the cost of all of this. Yeah. But it's got to get done. It's got to get fixed. And what somebody said up there is, I know I have to work through the pain of physical therapy. That's not
Mhm.
going to be easy.
Nope.
And the part that's going to hurt me, again, it's sitting down watching everybody else work. I'm doing nothing.
No,
but I'm
no,
not
no,
doing
but that's your
nothing.
perception.
Exactly. I'm not doing nothing. I'm taking care of myself so I can do stuff later.
Mhm.
I've got some projects I'm going to work on for the village from bed that I'm excited about. Artistic things that I'm like, that could be kind of fun. And what was the other thing? And the fact that I can't drive. They're like, you can't drive for a while. And it's not that driving will hurt. It's your right leg. It's the leg that controls the brake and the gas.
And it's the amount of pressure you
It
have to
Put
push.
on the brake if something was to jump out in front of you. Something jumps out and you jam on that brake, all that inertia is coming right back into your hip. It could be 100 pounds of pressure being forced up your leg when you jam on the brake and you just stopped a 3,000-pound vehicle. The science behind it, you stopping a 3,000-pound vehicle with a leg that has an injury in it, you could blow that thing apart and ruin all the work I just did. Like, you can't drive for weeks. And then just now it's the anxiety of adding all that onto her is what gets me. It's like, okay, now you got to do every Olivia gymnastics, all the shopping, and it's like, I'll Uber to freaking physical therapy.
he
And she was
won't.
like, no, you're not Ubering to physical therapy. Like, yeah.
He has all of these
So-
worries, and I get it.
Yeah.
It's a change, but like to
Yeah.
your point, like if you don't take care of this and you do it all wrong,
Yeah.
you'll end up you'll continue on with the pain you already have, if not more, and then you'll end up back in the
Yeah.
OR.
So that's one of the things I have thought about, and I haven't looked into it yet because we get more during pre-op and post-op and all that. Granny Barb said it right there. See if the therapist can come to you. Physical therapy can
I
come
don't
here.
think we
I don't know
have
how
that in
insurance would cover all that kind of thing.
I don't
Yeah.
think we have that in our area.
Yeah.
And I really don't think our insurance will cover that.
Yeah. And I saw that somebody put in Becca will be a big help. I don't even know if she's going to be living here during that time. So, helping bring Olivia Gymnastics back is a huge help. But we don't know who will be here, who won't. But we've got Rob and Jenna and Angie and Kevin. We've got a whole team. They've all jumped on board. I got to hang up my Superman cape, even though I don't want to say I'm Superman, but I get it. I got to just
temporarily.
Yeah. I'm
Like-
telling you,
Like,
the
send it
content is running through my head. How am I going to still go daily
You
and
don't
not
have
move?
to.
You're right. I don't
That's
have
the
to.
thing is
I
like you're
don't
putting
have to.
undue stress
But I
on
want
you.
to.
Sure,
It gives
then-
me that creative
But
side
don't let
of
it turn
okay.
into a stressor.
Oh, no, not at all.
Like, how am I going to do this?
It's not. It's more of a, what am I going to talk about? If I can't walk the house of pie, that's where I talk. I walk the house of pie and I talk. And then I walk back and it's like a full 15-minute little, all right, record, do house of pie, talk a little, come back. It's 10, 15-minute video. Now it's like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do that.
Yeah. You
It's
can
just
also,
something to think
like, they're all saying you can jump in the chat and talk to us.
And I probably will. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to, you guys know, we have 3 TVs in our bedroom. I have chat up 24/7 on all the cams. I have a regular TV in the middle. I got my phone. I will not be disconnected. Yeah, no. I will be on the phone ordering supplies. I will still be work. We've said it. Like, there's tons of work to do from a computer, So,
And again, it's not like you have to
Right.
stay in bed.
no, I don't have to. No,
This isn't like the flu or
No.
COVID where like nobody
No.
can be around you.
not at all.
You're recovering. So you can, move locations, go
Yeah.
and sit there.
Yeah.
Move locations, go and sit there.
Right.
You just have to be careful because anytime you move and you're on crutches,
Right.
you can potentially fall. So you don't, especially if you're outside, if it's not even ground.
Right. That's probably right. I'm not clicking on the questions as they come in, but home-based physical therapy may not even have all the equipment they need. Yeah.
He's not one to do pain pills.
Nope.
And
And
I don't even
because
think they're going to give you much
they're
because
not.
it's just these 2 to 4 little holes.
Oh, that they will probably give me much. They probably will give me pain because they just shaved down my bone,
You just
and
have to be careful with the pain pills.
yeah, I don't know what they're gonna give me, but you're right. I wouldn't
You
take them
always
that much
have
either.
like they give you stuff and you never take it all.
Yeah, I probably won't take that. Right now, I'm on no pain meds. I can't be because again, it can go 4 or 5 days with nothing, and then sharp. What am I gonna do? Be on it 24/7? No.
No. It's the recovery.
Recovery,
It's the fact that
yeah.
they're
Yeah.
actually going, and that will be
Yeah.
some time in pain.
Yeah.
But you take it, stay on top of it for the first couple of days, but then after that, it's like,
Right. So here's that first picture again.
oh boy. That's because
Here's the red circle.
Grammy of 4, she just took the dog out, and now she doesn't know what
And
he's
there's
having
the-
surgery for.
All right, so Grammy of 4. This is what's
Okay.
happening. This is my hip. This is my hip after I broke a piece of my pelvis. Oh, hang on. Here's the pelvis, the hole in the pelvis, and the broken piece of wood. The broken piece of bone fell into my hip, and it floats around in the hip, causing a lot of pain, and they got to go in and take it out in December.
And repair the ligament that you shredded.
And repair the ligament that I shredded, which I don't have my props anymore. But yeah, here you go.
no, we're
Oh,
beyond.
there it is. The ligament.
Rewind.
The ligament that sits around the bone that sits in the cup, and when you walk, this is what happens. Yeah, that ligament is toast, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rewind for the full
Yeah,
story.
rewind for the full story.
For the full story at 10 p.m.
Yeah, so that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Yep. So Quinn will be in a cast, and I will be on crutches at the same time, based on timing.
Falling apart.
Based on timing, that's probably
we
what.
are falling
Yeah.
apart.
Did you,
You know,
ever
never-
fall on your hip? Have I ever?
How many times?
How many times? I don't.
How
You know
many
what?
times?
I can't. And somebody said it. I don't know who it was. Oh, it was when you jumped over the fence to try to save.
I said it. I just said
And
it.
I'm like, no,
Yes,
it's
it
not,
was.
because I remember jumping over that fence. I hurdled it this way, and I landed on this side.
Well, impact
and I did
is
not-
impact.
Yeah, it didn't hurt that hip. Yeah, even the doctor
The
said
thing-
this piece of bone could have fell off your pelvis 10 years ago.
Mhm.
He's like, you could have jammed your hip on a countertop, a table, something,
Which is
whatever.
all possible because he's
All
done
possible.
all of those things.
and it could have happened years ago. It just took forever for it to get to the
start
point.
slicing and dicing you.
Yeah, to start cutting up that ligament that
Not
really.
a hip replacement.
No, not a hip replacement. No. No. Ligament surgery and removing that bone. That's it. No hip replacement.
Oh, he's not. I don't. Well.
What?
Oh, so that they say. Well, Janice said if they ask you if you want a nerve block for surgery, do yourself a favor and say yes, please.
Oh,
thank you.
I will say more than
Well,
one.
he's
Oh, they're
gonna
going to be
go-
completely out.
Yes, but when you wake up,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
yes, please.
Yes, I will take it all.
Whatever you got, I'm.
Aaron
reserving.
can share a stall with Winnie. Yeah,
Oh, she'll beat you up.
she will.
That
I am
girl's
not going out there.
spicy.
Yeah.
Spicy
Yeah,
girl.
yeah, you know, and there's those. The Tyler's like, what if he never wakes up? I mean, the kids are like a little borderline panicked in some
That's because of you.
respect. I didn't say that. I didn't say I'm not going to wake up from
If-
surgery.
If you had a positive attitude,
do.
like we got this, we
I-
can do this. No,
I
you don't.
cheerleaded this whole thing.
No, you're full of anxiety and stress, and the kids are picking up on that. I'm picking
Okay,
up
I have
on
to
it.
build half a barn in the next 3 weeks.
I
before-
statement again with the
Oh, sorry,
I
sorry.
statement.
That
I
is
had
a week.
already said
I know.
I have
You're in.
volunteered.
And I just saw pictures of you cutting wood.
I have
From-
volunteered
you were on the-
Angie and myself. We will stop making soap.
You were on the
We
saw.
will stop making lotion and lip balm and bath salts, and we will volunteer our services to
I'm
cutting
glad.
wood and
Let's
doing
do it.
whatever you need to do out in house.
Let's do it. I haven't even
And I am
told.
sure Kevin is on board as well.
Yeah, I haven't even told the rest of the team that we got to build a half a barn. Yeah.
Angie knows. I've already volunteered.
Oh, I voluntold her. Yeah. So, yeah.
But that's
Mhm.
the thing is your stress, your anxiety is contagious, and it's clearly rubbing off on Tyler of all kids
Okay. There
because
used to
he
be this.
hears you talking and he's not dumb,
There used to be
even
this
though
thing
he says he's dumb.
that happened in the corporate world, and there would
Okay.
be this excitement and this passion and this like go 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 or whatever,
Sure.
and people took that as anger. Like, you seem upset. You seem like blah blah blah. I'm like, no, I'm excited about this. Like the level you get excited and your voice raises and you go faster or whatever, and people take it as you're stressed out and angry. And I'm like, no, I'm not stressed out and angry. I am.
Well, when you do it with a furrowed brow.
Oh, is that it? It's all about the
Furrowed
eyebrows.
brow. Well, it's body language. Sure, you can say something and have that face, and it comes out completely different than it is.
Well, let's go build a house of mine.
Let's go build House of Mine.
Let's go build a house of mine. Oh,
Right?
I see.
See?
Okay, yeah, there's a little
Yeah,
bit of
see,
difference.
big difference.
Okay.
You can say,
Contract out chops to the village. That's pretty fun.
yeah, we got this. See?
We could do this. Yeah.
You're a giant bundle of nerves, and you need to relax a little. You've got this. See,
What is relax?
if I tell him that,
Alexa.
it will not
What's
be
the
received
definition?
very well.
No.
I also have coached him his whole life. Don't tell me to relax. It never helps me
Yeah,
to
she
relax.
did. Yeah. She even coached Tyler
You need
that
to
one.
relax.
Never tell a woman to relax. That's what she told Tyler. Like, don't do it. It doesn't work. It doesn't help.
No, if anything, it actually makes your situation worse.
I am not knitting. That's not happening. Yep.
I said that about soap.
Yeah, you did say that. I am not knitting. That is not happening. Yeah.
The next launch is going to be a bunch of your doilies that you've made.
No, there will be another launch of a bunch of stuff I make, but it's not going to be knitting.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it will still take 6 weeks to recover, depending on how much of that ligament they have to repair. Yeah, I'll be fine. I'm not worried about it.
The doctor said the doctor said that the recovery.
Oh, we gotta go feed puppy. Oh, Quinn. Oh, Quinn. Quinn, how you doing, buddy? Yes.
Oh, it's a video call.
Oh, he's hungry.
I'm hungry.
He's hungry. Okay,
What
how's
do you-
your
What do
pain?
you want? Ooh,
Pain
I
is
love a
2.
2.
2 is good, guys.
Two's good.
Pain is at a 2.
You know what, Quinny? You've made it pretty far since your last meds.
Yeah, don't push it, but
Don't
yeah.
push it. So if it's at a 2, you're doing great.
But we're still gonna get you more because we got to keep up on our timer. Has it been?
Oh, he dropped his phone on his arm.
He's not left-handed, and he's trying everything
Yeah.
left-handed. It's been a while, Quinn. We went live at 3. It is now
Past 6.
past puppy time, so we got to get the puppies past 6. So that's 3 hours already, and you had your meds a good hour before we started. You're a good 4 or 5 hours
So,
in.
what do you want for dinner, bud?
Yeah, we're talking to people.
Do you want me to heat you up some of the pizza
let me
from
see if
last
I can
night?
show you guys some pictures while they chit chat. And we're gonna go now that we just dropped the bomb
What do you
of
want
the
for
hip
dinner?
surgery on you guys. I don't see your comments right now. Let's see what we got. Aaron should write the next book. Aaron write a book. That's funny. So I did talk about that. I talked about that in a video that I
The
do want to write a
sliders?
book, and I'm actually trying to find a
I
ghost
think
writer to
the
help
other
me write a
kids
book,
ate all of them.
but we're not there yet, so I can't do that during that 6 weeks.
I know.
What does he want?
The sliders, but the kids
Oh, we
ate
might
them all.
have.
Nope, kids ate them all.
Yeah. Well, we try. You know, it's
I
life.
don't think so. Do you want
They-
the pizza that we had?
They say, you know, when you watch a family
Yeah.
vlog,
All right, I'll
which
heat
is
you up
pretty
some
much
pizza as
more
soon
what
as I'm
we've
done
turned
here,
into
okay?
than a farm. We just live
All
on a
right, and I'll
farm,
get
and
your juice
that's
too.
part of what we do. But
All right, love you.
a family vlog is
Bye-bye.
just talking about everything.
Yeah.
We're talking about everything.
Can you somehow my chat froze?
Your chat froze.
So just hit the blue arrow down.
Yeah, and I just popped something up on the screen there for you.
Liz, when Aaron says anything funny when he's coming out of heavy meds, can you record it?
No, yes. I've already told her she better record stuff. I almost asked, I wonder, it's my surgery. I paid for this. Can I record the whole thing? Time lapse it from the corner? Yeah, I don't know if they'll let me. They'll probably say no. No. More than likely. But,
Nobody wants to see that, babe.
yeah, no. I did.
Nobody wants to see that.
No.
Maybe
Yeah.
you do.
We've kind of talked about everything here. That we talked about. Yep, good. We talked about chai. We saw the pretty picture. What is this? Uh-oh. Oh!
Oh, it's all your pepper.
Yeah, I harvested a bunch of peppers and put them on top of my dirty freezer. That's the guy with all the milk. That's you with all the snow.
Mhm.
Yeah, we went through all these. Yeah. That's old. Yeah, that's it. Those were all my pictures that I added for today. Yep. So I am going to pop this one up here. Where's Billy? We'll do Billy. All right.
All right, so we have covered it all, I think.
Yeah, we have covered it all.
We've
That is
covered
it
the
for
Winnie
today.
update, the moving to House of Pie update, the Parasite update, Gus, and you.
And me. Yep.
Oh, and Quinn. Oh
Yep.
my God, I almost forgot about Quinn.
Yep. And unfortunately,
Speaking of Quinn, I have to go make him dinner because I know how to make shit.
that's not what I said.
I do all the cooking. Blah 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 blah.
Do.
I'm not saying
And
you
that's
don't.
not what I said.
But I don't. It's not that I don't know how to cook.
I never.
See, he throws these little jabs.
I wasn't a jab. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna go now.
Oh god.
Yeah.
We're gonna sink. According to him, we're gonna sink. We're all. Nobody's
never
gonna make
said
it.
we're gonna sink. I just have anxiety of watching you guys row the boat without me. I just do.
I'll get
That's
you an
it.
oar. Okay.
Fine. That's it.
You're gonna be.
I know I'm gonna be fine, and I know you guys are gonna
And
be
we're
fine.
gonna
I'm
be
just gonna feel useless for
fine.
6 weeks. There we go.
Okay. So the
That's it.
thing is,
Okay,
the thing
we're
is,
not done. Don't go anywhere.
self-care is not selfish. How many years have I been saying this? How hard have I been working
Yeah.
on taking care of me
Mhm.
and letting you do things that I want to be a part of? What?
Liz, it's a man thing.
I
You're not
can't
gonna get
fix it.
through them.
I
Yeah.
can't fix it. No, it's
Yeah.
too hard.
Yeah. So it's not personal to you. It's me. It's just me. I don't go to the doctor until the wheels fall off the bus.
Well, your wheels.
My
are falling
wheel
off.
fell off the bus. Yeah.
Right.
So it's time. Yep. That's it.
It's well in the process though. Like we could.
Yeah.
It's already a stressful situation.
Yeah.
We could have a little less stress
Okay.
with a positive attitude.
Not gonna do my next YouTube video like this. Hello, guys.
That wouldn't be the authentic or the real part.
That wouldn't be the real part of Syman Says Farms.
Most men are babies.
It's very true. I would agree.
He agreed.
I would agree.
All right, I gotta go make some food for Quinny.
Yep. I could go feed puppies.
There
All
you
right.
go.
you
Teamwork
later.
makes the dream work.
Yep.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.